Come on, show me the numbers as I'm watching this re-editing. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Fight Net Radio. Lee Honish, Andrew Labouche, Miguel Antonio Barragon. We bring you the wonderful world of boxing, and we have a ton of stuff to cover today. The only disappointment is that I couldn't get the Deontay Wilder interview so we could go through it line by line on simply the craziest crap he's ever said on live TV. He was phenomenal last night. He was there in LA in attendance. We'll cover that. We actually have some Deontay Wilder interview clips, as well as Andy Ruiz, Luis Ortiz, even some Isaac Cruz, who is the only person to handle the scandal last night correctly. We have news from last week. There isn't much, but we've got a little bit of it. But we have a lot to talk about based on boxing of this week. As always, go to boxingtonight.io. Boxingtonight.io. Just a quick shout out, only because it happened last week. You can follow Miguel and me. We're the ones who generally post the most content. I've just discovered Andrew posts content before we started the show, so we're going to get that onto our Facebook timeline for everybody who follows. Just click on the Facebook link. I think the most interesting thing, I got to explain the joke. Like, I don't feel cool unless does anybody like the ad besides me? Because this is truly what Fight Net Radio be like. I mean, I got to be perfectly honest. Fight Net Radio looks exactly like this. If you don't get this and you're watching the video going, you're saying it's a car crash? Yeah, generally speaking, and I'm going to prove it to you right now. If you scroll down, Andrew posts, I post, Miguel puts up content. But earlier in the week, I just shared Chris Cyborg in a face guard. She's got a boxing match coming up here in a couple of weeks. And my comment was, Migs, is she better with a face guard on? Now, does it make more sense if I had fleshed it out that way?
Yes, it does. Yes.
Right. And that, in my mind, is what I posted. The first person who posted back was Chris Cyborg Justino. Oh, crap. Now I'm interacting with fans. Like, there's 83 comments, there's 83 likes and loves, and then 20 comments. Like, this turned into a fan thing on our own page, at which point I never had the guts to ask the big question, which is, Chris, it's 15 years. I got to know, do you have a vagina? Which is really what I wanted to post and never had the balls to do. In fact, I went the opposite way. If you read the comments of, hey, you should get to know your fight person since you're a boxer now. And she's like, well, I'm really busy with training, but right after the fight, you'll be one of the first interviews I do.
Ooh.
Oh. This is like punishment. We become somehow
that interview. I'm telling you that right now.
Andrew, we've somehow become a reputable boxing thing.
He says, it's you. I'm not interviewing Cyborg. You are.
No, I would still do the regular questions. I mean, I'd like to know what kind of girls she likes, redheads, brunettes, or blondes.
Yeah, there you go.
Why not?
Yeah. Hey, you should have asked her.
No.
Exactly.
And by the way, notice I'm not playing the I kicked Cyborg by accident game in the beer line. I already know she'd knock me out. That's a tough dude. I mean, seriously. All right. She's not coming on the show. Let's all just take a deep breath. Fortunately, people who claim, and there were a bunch of, my favorite part was somewhere in here, somebody actually said, and I quote, you guys are very, like, you guys at Fight Net are super chill and cool. Like, this is my
going to the fight.
Which one?
To Cyborg's fight.
I don't even know how to request it.
I don't know where it's at.
Is she fighting here?
Hey, I was going to say, Lee, start off with the interview about your brain damage. So at least you have that on record, that you put it out there that you have a bleeder. Do not strike me. It might look better in the lawsuit. That's all I'm saying.
Wait, Fight Net Radio, thanks for being kind about it. You guys rock. What? You don't listen to the show, Brian Singer, but hey, thanks for the comment. clearly that's not our show, but
I almost choked.
this is why
I almost-
everybody should follow us on Facebook. I just recently started to reshare people and comment on them on our timeline. And little did I know the excitement that we would bring to our page and to our fans. So, hey, trust me, I'm not going to change being me for this show in any way, shape, or form. So go to boxingtonight.io, follow us on Facebook, follow at Fight Fiend Mix, follow me at Lee Honish. We put up content constantly and we put it on Facebook. We do this show in 3 parts: fights coming up, fights that happened over the weekend, and the news of last week. And since I changed it up last week, I'm going to change it up on you guys this week because I'm fascinated. I was, it's the down week before we have Canelo, right? But next week,
Not really a down week.
Well, Shields versus Marshall and Michaela Mayer versus Baumgartner. This isn't a bad fight.
Yeah, that's a great fight.
These
Two
are
great fights. I
actually
think
really
both
good
are
fights,
really good.
right?
Yeah. Mhm.
So we're gonna do the reverse order, which we never do, because Andrew disappears to go chase children and get them out of the fireplace and out of the barbecue pit by 10 o'clock. And we're starting. Is anyone having a barbecue? Oh, here's the fun part about being married. I'm going to a barbecue today. How crazy out of the.
Well,
Andrew
it's only
knows-
crazy if it's 110 degrees, Lee. If it's that hot, you have no business outside.
We have a pool, the pool, and there's people coming over. It's like a party. Andrew, is this like a thing? You didn't tell me about this thing.
You ever seen that movie Fools Rush In with Selma Hayek and who's the guy from Friends?
Matthew Perry.
Yeah, great movie. Great movie. But remember what happens to the white people on the lake, Lee?
Oh my God. Oh my God. So since I've been married, you both know me, so you know why this is hilarious. Since I've been married, I've now gone to networking events for my day job, which I have never done. And now I'm doing a Labor Day barbecue. Well, the other day I was walking by and she had one of her friends over and we were just kind of passing by and I go, wow, great. We were talking about last night. I'm like, wow, great fight. And this person goes, I'm excited about Canelo. And I went, oh crap. I didn't know. Like, I actually had to make a mental thought at that moment of, do I have the discussion that I do the boxing show and that I'm covering this fight, or do I just go and heat up my chili dog and go back and watch the fight?
Which, by the way, go get another scoop of the macaroni salad and
whatever it is, right? Like, so the minute you tell people in Vegas you do a boxing show or you cover boxing, you find out how many closet freaking boxing fans there are in Vegas, but they only know names like Canelo. I don't have a problem with people being fans. I have a problem hearing boxing fans not understanding what's happening. That's all. Andrew is more social than me and probably encounters it more than I do. My dream in life, and Andrew, you got to promise this to me before I die. We go to a bar to watch a fight, to go watch fight fans talk about boxing around us without our losing a shit. I've only done it twice in the last 2 years, where I've actually gone down to eat wings and watch the fight, and then have a pile of fight fans around me explaining boxing. How is it for you, Andrew?
Yeah, hit and miss. Which cut? Sometimes I've had great experiences watching the fights with other casual fans or diehard fans, you would say. Because I think most of the guys that go to the bars for the closed circuit ones, you got to be a diehard, right?
Do they get stupider as they get drunker?
Yeah.
Tyson would be all of these guys. They're middleweights, bro. Of course he would.
Or they always say, you'll tell whose IQ is high when they start doing the matchmaking, right? Could Pacquiao fight Bernard Hopkins or something like that back in the year? Like, what? Wait, no, that fight's probably not going to happen. No,
that fight's never. Well, and by the same token, my goal now that I live in Vegas, I want to watch boxing with Miguel and his dad. Like that's my other dream goal now that I'm in Vegas. I think the two of you, just so I can watch the old man sit there and not say a word and then look and go, pshh. That's what he does, doesn't he? He just sits there and he stares at it.
If you think my dad sits there quietly, hell fucking no.
Oh, really? I pictured him the opposite, like totally quiet through the whole fight and then just kind of roll his eyes back at us going.
A couple of times, I'm like, there's times where I need a break. I'm like, Dad, would you please stop talking? I want to hear the commentators. I want to hear what the fuck, because like my dad is pretty much like he gets so into it, And I mean, as we all do, right? Sometimes we're twitching in our seats and shit, and it's like, oh shit, what the hell's gonna happen next? And we're like moving our heads as if we're in the fight and whatnot. And we do that quite frequently. But it's just like, Dad, would you please just stop talking? God damn it! I want to hear what they're saying. I want to hear what the commentators are saying after the fight. My dad's like, we'll be, like toggling between two fights.
He's sitting there after the fight, going, "What did we watch?"
Yeah. I'm toggling between two fights, right? And then as soon as the fight's over, it's like, all right, flip it over to the other fight. It's like, no, Dad, I want to hear the post-fight interviews. God damn it, hang on. He's like, oh, okay.
More boxing. I need more fighting.
Yeah, exactly. My dad's like, I need blood. He says that. He said, blood.
Can we all agree that Saturday beat Sunday, for sure?
Oh yeah, it did.
Saturday rocked out. And we'll talk about both shortly. I'm interested. Will Dad watch Shields versus Marshall and Mayer versus Baumgartner?
My dad's a little too old-fashioned. He's like,
women doesn't like the chicks.
I mean, he doesn't mind them. He just like, how are these ladies main eventing? Yada yada. I was like, Dad.
I think we should make. Wait, I got to be honest, Miguel.
His dad's gonna get canceled.
Oh yeah,
totally.
My dad
totally. Wait, I feel like we need the scrap-o-meter from Dad. I mean,
yeah, Pops is going to canceled. That's like the prototype of a cancellation right there.
Oh, so great. So funny. Great. That's all funny. Right. So Savannah Marshall is taking on Clarissa Shields for basically all the belts at middleweight. Andrew, are you going to watch this fight on ESPN Plus?
Oh yeah, most definitely. It's supposed to be a historic night, right? First time two main event cards are held by all, well, not all women fight, but both women co-main and main event. So that's cool. And
are they
they're all
trying to make Mayer versus Shield? I feel like that's what they're trying to get to, but Mayer's just too small.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's several weight classes too small. I mean, I hope that. I don't think that's what they're trying to do.
No, I don't think that's what they're trying to do. They wanted to do it's all about doing the first, right? So the first time women have called a NFL game. This first time women have called a Major League Baseball game. Refereed a game, umpire a game.
And they're going to have the female announcers, and they're going to do the whole bit, right? That's going to be the whole angle for ESPN.
They already did that. They already did the announcing one. Yeah, so that one's already been done. Now they're doing one that we're just, I think they just went to their conference room, put up a billboard, and said, "What are all the things we haven't done yet? We're about to do them."
Hey, Miguel, who you picking?
Hey, listen. Wait a minute. We can't forget how much money they said they brought in on the fight in New York with Serrano and Taylor.
No doubt. So, no doubt. When you're willing to put up a Marshall and a Shields or even Baumgartner Mayer, right? Like these are, at least you're doing it. I mean, at least you're putting them all together.
Is that the fight they're looking at? The Katie Taylor versus Mayer versus winner versus Mayer and Baumgartner. That is that potential.
Well, it's on ESPN. I don't understand this. I mean, Clarissa is a free agent, right? I don't know who Marshall's with. Michaela's clearly with Bob. Yeah, she's hot. Thanks, Bob. I don't even know where you came from. Like that was some guttural thing. And Baumgartner's been kicking around the division forever, right? So you've still got Katie Taylor, that's Tommy Hearns, and he drools over her constantly. But she fights cab drivers. She does. I'll give Clarissa Shields credit. The girl will strap on any kind of glove to go prove that she can actually throw. She's the only one who's done it. Michaela Mayer is probably 5 minutes away from Playboy at the rate she's going based on her Instagram. She's going down the road of Holly Holmes and everybody else about being half naked and a female fighter, because at least she gets that. This is really weird to me. This isn't about skill anymore.
Yeah, well, yes, it is. Lee.
Really? Miguel, am I wrong? You follow all these people.
Mayor
Like, I
is,
feel
yeah,
like I'm
it's
being
not.
a
Well,
perv, but
if you watch Mayor's last fight, I could have swore I was on here saying it was one of the greatest fights I had ever seen. Lee, seriously, it went
yeah,
down.
but I've
hands
also
down.
seen her Instagram where she was half naked with.
This is before Katie Taylor and Serrano, and then Katie Taylor and Serrano come and put in their performance. So no, I think you're absolutely wrong. There's a lot of skill in this sport right now, and it might be to the MMA. Thank the MMA. Their women's fighting is main events all the time. This is nothing new over there, and maybe it brought a spotlight to the women's boxing. I've told you this many times. You've seen a change in the look of women's sports. These women are a lot more camera friendly. They're learning that aspect of the marketing side, and they're getting with that. There's a lot of dads out there that have daughters that they want them to protect themselves. And when you have women that are camera friendly and
I'm not disagreeing with that.
Okay, well then it is skill. There's skill in these fights. Katie Taylor and Mayer and Baumgartner are one division away from each other, so there is a potential. This is a huge.
But I'm not Michaela Mayer putting on my Instagram. She was spanking Clarissa. What was that, Miguel?
I know that's a lead, but it sells. We know that shit sells, man, and that's what they're doing.
My daughter knows how to throw a jab in her right hand. She's gone off to college. I'm pretty confident in her ability to throw that jab in the right hand. Okay. Nowhere in my mind do I think my daughter's going to do the Cheesecake Chicks of Utah in like a hot top spanking another flag girl at school.
More for the men. That's more for the men's keeping the men interested than I think who's to say nowadays. But I think that's selling.
All right, I will pop. I will say this: I would pop for an Adrian Broner Chavez Jr. spanking. I mean, I would. So people don't think I'm sexist. If Adrian Broner did the up against the wall spanking Chavez Jr. like he was a bad boy over his knee, I'd pop for it all day.
Well, don't they have the ESPN nude magazine for that site?
Yes, they do. Unfortunately.
Well, we actually have Oscar De La Hoya doing incredibly stupid things for the male side. I mean, he seems to be the hallmark bearer of, did you really just wear tidy whities and eat birthday cake while your girlfriend's nipples actually poked out your eye? Like, did that really happen in the public, bro? I mean, somebody got to have a talk with you. Miguel, Clarissa Shields, Savannah Marshall. Does Marshall have any shot?
Yes, if I'm not mistaken, I think she beat her once, right? I think it was in amateurs. So she's already, I mean, yeah, granted it's amateurs and we're talking about like, professionals here, and it's been several years since then. So there is definitely a possibility that, Clarissa Shields has advanced further than Marshall, but it definitely has a shot. I mean, because keep in mind, I guess sports in general, as many things are, the majority of the percentages is mental. You go in there with that mental. If you go in there physically prepared but mentally not prepared, you're fucked. So if she's got that roadblock or that hurdle in her brain that Marshall had, tapped that ass a couple of times or once before in fucking amateurs, then
I'm
she's
coming over to watch with you and Dad.
She's gonna.
This just
she's gonna have
yeah.
that
You can't say that. You can't say that, Miguel. We can't say tap that ass.
No, we can. We can't. No, we can't.
There we go.
Andrew.
So she defeated her, put an L on her record in the amateurs. So I'm pretty sure she's confident. I'm talking about Marshall going in there the second time. So yes, she definitely does have a chance for sure.
All right, Andrew, do you want to make picks for next week?
What, for these
fights? Pick them.
No, I just hope they're good fights. ESPN I think is backing Mayer. Even though the winner of this fight, they're both extremely camera friendly. The winner of this fight is gonna move on to possibly
completely. What are you talking about?
No, the main event is Baumgartner and Mayer. They both are.
They both are. No, it's the co-main event. It's the co-main event. Clarissa's the headliner.
I'm talking about the main event. I'm talking about the
Shields and Marshall.
Clarissa Shields is the co-main event. I'm talking about the main event.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm
Mayer
showing it to you on the
Baumgartner.
screen. It's the other way around.
What,
Just
it has
saying.
Clarissa as the main event?
Yeah.
right,
She's
we'll
actually
see
the
what
bigger
happens.
star at the moment.
I don't know, dude. All right, we'll see what Mayer's already been the main event on ESPN too, Lee. I don't know what you're talking about. So how I seen the poster, it looked like it was the opposite way, but we will see. Doesn't matter to me. I really don't care. I'm telling you right now, Mayer versus Baumgartner, is that how you say her name? That's potential. That is a potential pay-per-view fight with Katie Taylor. This is a huge fight. Katie Taylor, if you guys don't
Taylor's
remember,
been protected. I think she'd get run over by Michaela Mayer.
There was 20,000 fans that went to watch that fight in New York. When Hasim Rahman Jr. and the Paul kid backed out of the fight, they had to drop a fight in New York with Serrano on the undercard. They couldn't even continue with the card because she was not selling tickets. Katie Taylor is a star in New York. The winner of this fight, there is a big fight there. Unfortunately, Clarissa Shields does not have the same thing. Clarissa, that's why she's begging Cyborg to come here. Those guys are sparring partners. They're going to try to get a fight together. Whatever. That's Clarissa Shields, unfortunately, doesn't have the same. If Mayer moves up, she also has the Jessica McCaskill. How do you say her last name? McCaskill. She has her a division there, a division above her. So there's another potential. Clarissa just doesn't have this. So,
Andrew, you're going to get in trouble just for knowing women's boxing this well.
Well, I told you, ESPN's been pushing it for a while. All of these girls have decent records. They put on hell of a good fights. That's one thing.
They throw. I will give the women credit. Even last night with the crack addict, was that Saturday or Sunday? The crack addict from Canada versus, the double D cups. Can I say it? I was actually having this discussion with my wife, so I won't get in trouble. I'm like, is it based on the circumference or is it based on the length of the breast? Like, I was having a very technical conversation about how do you determine actual size of cup. She goes, that's all you see in that fight. I go, well, it's kind of a boring fight. I mean, to be perfectly honest. And it was for the WBA title. I just wasn't into it. I was just trying to figure out the woman who looked like she needed a sandwich, for God's sakes, from Canada. No way. All right. Andrew, you get to vote before we move on to news. We don't have much before we get to this weekend's fight. Level 1 through 10 joke. You always vote for 10. I'm just saying carefully. I've got a level 10 joke.
Go ahead.
You want the level 10 joke.
All right. I think our fan base is used to you, man.
No, yeah, well, it's the show, right? Miguel, in your head, picture all four fighters. I know it's going to be hard. Don't cheat. All right. We're going to show you exactly his picks. Ranking them 1 through 4, who you'd have sex with. Start with number 4. I'm already picking who you'd pick as number 4. That's not even that hard.
Out of the 4 main event? I mean, the 4 chicks we're talking about?
Yeah, the 4 women in the main event. I know who you're going to pick as number 4.
Well, number 4 is Clarissa. She's already in last place.
Of course, it's Clarissa.
Yeah.
Are you going to put them up on the screen so I can take a look at them?
They're up on the screen right now. All
right. Well, Clarissa's she's at the very back.
By the way, she probably is more physical in bed.
That's true.
You would have to bring some serious A game, so you may want to recalculate this.
Yes. It's terrible.
All right, number 3.
Number 3.
I know who it should be because I'm looking at the vote.
It'll be Marshall. It'll be Marshall.
No, you've got it wrong, bro. You're gonna hate yourself for this one. This is who you picked at number 3.
Yeah, look at her, dude.
Yeah.
You haven't seen Baumgartner. You're not picturing Baumgartner.
Lee, you need to go to her Instagram, bro. Don't get her fight pictures. You got to go.
Well, no, I'm not giving him the easy stuff. Like, hell, we all know Michaela Mayer is going to win this.
Yeah, right? I know.
Let's all agree.
Well,
Michaela is gorgeous. Michaela is a perfect human.
Will you stop it?
I'm going to throw you guys.
She's
I'm going to
pretty.
throw you guys
she can fight. She's a badass. She's got a bad attitude. There's nothing wrong with Michaela.
Well,
all right.
I'm-
Well, that means you put in number 2. You'd pick Alicia Baumgardner. Yeah, maybe it's not that bad a call.
wait,
That's a lot of abs, bro.
I'm gonna throw you
Lot of
guys a
abs.
curveball. I'm gonna throw you
A lot
guys
of
a swerve here.
abs.
I'm gonna throw you guys a curveball and a swerve here. I'm gonna go with number 1 with Baumgardner. Just in the name of diversity, of racial diversity, she is a
Love it.
minority. She is
I
a
love
minority.
it.
So I myself, minorities.
We're woke here at Fight
Yes.
Net Radio, Lee.
That's exactly how it is. We
This
we
is
wave
not
that
woke boxing news. This is Cyborg's not coming on next week.
Yes. So
And for
Michaela
those
gets
of
number
you
2
driving
spot.
to work going, really, did you guys just do this piece? Yes. Yes, we did for you guys. We did it for you because we love you. You're our fight fans. Oh my God, I just deleted all the stories for this week.
No.
That's hilarious. It's hilarious, but we'll be okay. Let's move forward and talk about boxing news. I can't believe that I deleted that. No.
He has absolutely no idea.
That literally
we
blew my
got
mind.
Lee nervous. We got Lee nervous once we
I
said.
did. Well, no,
the
and
first
then
thing, he's like,
I don't
"Gosh."
know. My wife walked through the room. I'm probably in trouble for at least a week for talking about breast size and fighters. Like literally, this was a very serious discussion the other day, which was
Wasn't necessary, Lee.
really. Haven't you
yourself
wondered
into that.
how they figure out breast size?
No, I'm saying this whole bit wasn't necessary. If you're going to be in trouble for a week from your wife, it wasn't necessary, bro. But we're moving on.
We're moving on. I'm rewinding because I know the stories that I picked and the jokes I wanted to tell because they were all quite hilarious. Before we get to actual boxing, which I'll pick up from this past weekend, I have actual video. YouTube was very kind to us and got us. I really wanted Deontay Wilder. I really wanted that Deontay. Was that not the craziest interview, Miguel? Like he said stuff that just boggled my brain.
Well, it wasn't the Deontay Wilder that we,
No,
expected.
it's the new, nicer,
it's the
gentler, crazy.
It's like the
Deontay.
Conor McGregor that was like really cool in that third fight with fucking, or second fight I think it was with Dustin Poirier. He's like all of a sudden a good sportsman. He's like shaking hands, hugging people, and he's like, yeah, I mean, he's probably humbled. He got his ass handed to him and he got humbled, so that might have something to do with it. And then of course his ayahuasca trip that he had, talking about all this
crazier
stuff.
than that. I mean, they kept bringing like stuff up during the fight. Like obviously they've already made Ruiz versus Deontay Wilder, right?
Right.
Assuming that Deontay Wilder gets through Hellenius.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yes.
But they talked about it incessantly, and that came up with the main event on Saturday night. Like, why are you guys like 2 minutes after the fight saying we got a fight signed on December 23rd? Like, that's not how that works. Like, good God.
Yeah,
like
they brought him into the fight. I mean, I'm sure we'll talk about it here a little later on, but they brought him into the ring, and they were trying to basically like start some shit and everything. It's like he just wasn't having it. He was not, playing ball there. He was just trying to be Mr. Nice Guy, and who the fuck knows? Maybe that is legitimately a change in him, or he's just trying to be polite for the sake of being on the camera this time. But I don't know. It just seemed as though like they were trying really hard to like get them face to face or some shit like that.
Well, this is news of the week last week. And if you haven't been a regular listener of the show, let's catch up. Apparently, Thurman is living in a delusional world where if Spence and Crawford don't fight each other, he's now ramped up his game, Andrew. I was the guy calling out Mayweather, and now these guys are calling me out. Nowhere in the news. Okay, this is so batshit crazy. Like Thurman has clearly been hit in the head and should not be legally cleared to box, right?
He's kind of always been delusional. He was delusional when he got his first title. If you remember, he started calling himself a great. Oh, I'm now like the greats of the other.
This is 3 weeks of having imaginary fights with people, and now he said, "Oh yeah, no, I was next for Mayweather, and then Mayweather retired. He didn't want any part of this." What are you talking about, dude? Mayweather would have cleaned your goddamn clock.
Look at that forehead, Lee. You have big dreams, and we got a forehead that big. That's all I'm saying.
I was into him. I was literally into him for 5 seconds on the first PBC card on Fox, right? He was the only guy who didn't say anything crazy that night. And here we are years later. Dude, you've become the batshit shaman. Wow, that's a great title. Write that one down. You are the batshit shaman. He has out crazied everyone, Andrew. He can just name names now. Well, I was supposed to fight Mike Tyson in an exhibition, but Mike didn't want the fight. Yeah, I was supposed to fight Mayweather, which is what he's doing here this week. Last week and the 2 previous weeks, if you don't know or follow the news, he claimed that he is the alternative for Spencer Crawford, either one, but they don't want to fight him. And now Mayweather was supposed to fight him, but Mayweather retired. He might as well call out Lennox Lewis at this point, Andrew. I mean, it's just how outrageous. No, Ali's coming out of the grave to fight me, but he died. He's dead. I mean,
he died again. He died a second time.
He died a second time. It just wouldn't be a fair fight. He was afraid of me. In all of these stories, Andrew and Miguel, it's the same concept. They're afraid to fight Thurman. Now, I could be completely wrong, but he didn't beat Manny Pacquiao, right? Like, did I miss that fight?
No, you're right. He sure as hell didn't beat him.
Okay, so if you can't beat an old man Pacquiao without steroids, right? With your own organization helping you generously on the cards, I might add, that night, what makes you think you got a shot against Spence, Crawford, Mayweather? You want me to go through all the middleweight? Like, I don't even think you could beat Sergio Mora, okay, for the middleweight title at this moment. He has done nothing to demonstrate that, like, this delusion is happening. I'll start with you, Miguel. Like, what is going on in this man's head? I like the pause.
Oh, sorry. What's that? I didn't catch that.
What is going on in this man's delusional head? Actually, I like the dramatic pause. I'm leaving it in as an edit. But he's delusional, right? Like, I don't get him.
I don't know. Does he have like too many like yes people around him or something?
Because I mean, weeks of this.
It's. I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe this is just what PBC does to guys. You know, like when they feed him guys that they can beat and then build them up to get some sort of belt. And keep in mind, he did at one point have 2 belts, and he has beaten some people on his, on his other PBC guys, of course, on his record. But like, I don't know, the fact that he got hurt by fucking I think who was it, Josecito, and then it took him a while to take out Barrios. I'm not sure if did they go the distance. I think they went the distance. But anyway, I'm not sure what
the Pacquiao thing kills him. Right. I think the Pacquiao thing.
Well, I mean, it's no shame there, right? I mean, he lost to fucking Manny, but I mean, Manny is already at the tail end of his career anyway. I mean, he couldn't do something that Jeff Horn did. So it seems a little strange that he's got his brain in that cloud. I don't know what bizarro world he's living in his head that he thinks that these people are like. I don't think I've heard anybody call it. The only people that I've heard call him out, if that's even a thing, are like guys coming up, like using him as a stepping stone, not like guys at the top. Like I haven't heard anybody at the top calling him out.
Andrew, you're on the message boards. Where do you have any idea where this insanity comes from?
Yes, unfortunately. It's the PBC fan base that buys into this bullshit constantly. And every once in a while, the shit sprinkles on the boxing media and they buy into it too. Sort of like his last opponent, the Mario Barrios guy. He gets credit for a win that on a guy that really has done nothing. We watched a guy in a co-main event last night, Isaac Cruz. Really has done nothing. And yet the PBC fan base act like Ryan Garcia needs to fight him. For what? He's done nothing.
Nothing.
Even up to the heavyweight, Andy Ruiz, that was in the ring last night. And I'll get into that later. But it's the PBC fan base that builds these guys up. Keith Thurman has had 1 fight since 2019. His hairline is back 4 inches.
Yeah, no, Andrew, but you don't understand. Spence and Crawford want to fight him.
He's 33 years old. No, he's a nobody. He is a nobody. But the PBC fan base will buy into that fight. You will see it get numbers because they're the WWE of boxing right now. They have a loyal fan base that watches this shit. Did anyone see the fight last night? It was a decent turnout. There was a lot of people.
Oh no, they filled up the arena. I'll give them credit. I always look at that. That's like, all right, fans, what you guys all expect out of Lee on a fight night. And by the way, if my tweets to Andrew and Miguel ever became public during fight night, I would definitely be canceled. However, with that said, the one thing I did notice, Andrew, look, that's Staples, right? That's the home of the Lakers. That's a big, big place designed for the Lakers. And they definitely had it rocking. They definitely, I don't know if they gave away tickets. Like, I can make no statement to what the gate amount is. I'm telling you, those seats were filled and they showed them as they should.
Tell us
there were no blackouts.
They tell us the Gervonta Davis fights are sold out. Spence does fine in Dallas. Spence, another guy, built up, really never accomplished anything to be as high as he is on the pound-for-pound ranking. Never took out any of the top welterweights from the man who beat the man, per se. He's never done any of that. He skipped over him fighting a bunch of guys who got belts off vacant fucking titles, and we call him one of the best in the world?
No, his biggest night was the first night on PBC. The first night we saw him on Fox.
He does it just like they only call out fighters when fighters are already signed. Then all of a sudden they want to call them out.
Truthfully, I've ignored this story for 2 weeks, Andrew. But he's become so he's ramped it up to this Mayweather thing. Like, what do you think is going to happen, dude? Like, after Mayweather goes fights Kirin Tozawa Katashi, whatever his name is. And I'm not being racist or derogatory. I just don't give a fuck about what he's going to Japan to do, right? What you think he's suddenly going to become a boxer again and fight you because you called him out? Like, did you have a conversation with Al and Mayweather going, you should do this, and bro, you've got a shot at fighting me next? Like, if Mayweather was going to come out of boxing, like, this is a completely inbred organization, right? Before you make this comment, right? There's a conversation with Al, there's a conversation with Mayweather. That, like, all these conversations had to happen where Mayweather's sitting there, on the couch fanning, $100 bills while some stripper is half naked and he's throwing money at her and going, oh yeah, bro, I need you to do this because when I get back from Japan, I'm coming back to boxing to fight you? Are you serious? Like, how do you even say that with a straight face if you're Mayweather? Like, this is like, it's 3 straight weeks of insanity of making Thurman relevant. And he's just not. Like, every time tell me I'm wrong, Andrew.
You're missing the blueprint here. All right. So Thurman calls, and then I'll throw it to you, Miguel. Thurman puts Mayweather's name on the title. That gets hits. Look for Thurman to be a gatekeeper to one of PBC's younger guys. They're not going to he's not getting a major fight. There will be no major fight, but they're just working him up. He's going to get another fight on a younger PBC. Ennis or something will be fighting him soon. But they're just using Mayweather's name to have you talk about it right now.
All right. So here's my question, Andrew, before you throw it over.
Wait a minute. In reality, nobody in the boxing world, we're not talking PBC fan base, nobody outside of the boxing world gives a flying fuck about Keith Thurman. He doesn't sell a fucking ticket anymore.
I agree. My only question is, do you have to clear this with Mayweather?
What? What's the question?
Does he have to clear? Does Thurman have to clear this with Papa Mayweather as well?
No,
before he says it.
I think Al Heyman owns the rights to Mayweather's name. So they get to use it. No, I think that's what Al Heyman's done.
Al Heyman owns the right to Mayweather's name.
That's why he's never had Mayweather really in the building. He doesn't need Mayweather. Mayweather did all the promoting. All Al Heyman has to do is play Mayweather after his fight. Thank Al Heyman. I wouldn't be here without Al Heyman.
Oh no, they did that last night. Last night was Miguel's favorite. He thanked God first. Ruiz, thank God. Second person after God, Al Heyman. Congratulations.
Yeah.
We brought him back.
Hey, when he had
He's a
that
real person.
750, he was before God. I'm just saying. Now, at least God got back in front of him now that, because he really didn't make that much money. He only made like $2 million guaranteed last night. So at least God got back in front. If it was $5 million, better believe he would have
It
said
was
Al
Al
Heyman.
Heyman before
Yeah.
God. So
It
God
would
is
have been one of
right
those
at about
speeches.
5 million for thank you in your mind.
Yeah, that's the price tag. He would have been like, I want to thank Al Heyman because without him, none of this is possible. Oh yeah, thank God too.
Oh, and then God. And then God. No, I'm a devout Christian. I go to church every week, but Al Heyman got me
It's like,
5 million. I
through
mean,
Al
what are you
Heyman,
talking about?
through Al Heyman, everything is possible. Okay.
He's in the Thanksgiving prayer. Damn it.
Al Heyman is literally 5 minutes away from having a float based on the PBC fighters in the Macy's Thanksgiving parade. Like there should be an Al Heyman float with PBC fighters carrying that thing down the street. God damn, Thurman, you are a fucking nut. Miguel, anything you'd like to add to this craziness? Because I've now only covered it once in 3 weeks, even though I have literally blown off all his other crazy.
Well, I mean, as long as this continues, we should blow off as crazy because whether we want to admit it or not, it worked. We're not talking about him. So all you had to do was add
He
add
did it. It
Mayweather's
took
name to
3
the fucking
weeks.
thing. And you said he's been trying to stay relevant. With him basically name dropping specifically Floyd. And here we are talking about him. So I say fuck this. Let's move on.
All right. As a side note, anybody want to talk about Tenshin Nakakura or whatever the hell it is that Mayweather's? I don't have the story up because no, actually I do. Here, no, I don't.
Okay.
Let's talk about Tenshin number 2. Like they're all named Tenshin in my mind. I'm not being derogatory. And by the way, the guy he fought last time was named Tenshin.
Yes.
By the way, this is the moment where Sam usually texts me and goes, "Holy crap, Lee has retention." Yeah, I've got some. All right, I've got some. So he's fighting another Tenshin, who's another cage fighter, to make another million or 2 million, Miguel, at another. It's not New Year's, so I guess it's only 1 million this time.
I guess so. Is it still going to be on top of that building on fucking in Abu Dhabi?
Oh
or
no,
something?
yeah, WWE style. Yeah, sure. Whatever they're doing. Like it literally looks like pro wrestling.
Yeah, he's trying to make a spectacle out of it. I mean, as long as there's going to be people that are willing to sign paychecks for Floyd and willing to pay him X amount of dollars, he's going to continue doing it. So, I mean, if there's no demand, there will be no supply. But clearly, there is to some degree, a demand to see him in these exhibition fights. Otherwise, people wouldn't be, willing to sign these big ass checks for him. I don't even know who the hell he's actually fighting, to be honest. All I know is just another undersized Japanese fighter. I think a kickboxer, was it? Not that is going to go.
Kickboxer,
full
MMA
boxing
guy.
in this one?
I mean, the photo
Okay.
shows him in MMA gloves.
Gotcha.
I
Okay.
refuse to do the homework on this fight.
Yeah, that's the reason.
And you don't have to.
Yeah.
No, we'll watch it on YouTube after the fact, and Mayweather will dance around and roll his head. I mean,
talk to the commentators at the same time. The same bullshit.
Yeah, sure. Whatever it is he does. Go ahead, Andrew.
These fights are not aired in America. They're not going viral in America. No one gives a fuck about Floyd Mayweather in any of these exhibition fights. At some point, look, I don't want to say it's sad. I'm not going to say it's sad.
It is sad. He's running out of money and taking exhibition fights.
But it has to be a red flag, okay? Because we're talking about a man who used to step into the ring for 100 million, 400 million, 300 million. Wait, remember the hundreds of millions he used to brag about making? And now you're telling me that he's stepping in rings in other countries for $1 million?
So I can buy a new car, Andrew. So I can buy a new car.
No, actually, I think it's to keep the debt off of them.
Oh, I think it's to keep the lights on.
Exactly.
Is anyone going to be surprised when this guy has the IRS knock on his door?
No, absolutely not. I would want to bring up the freaking photo of him burning $1 bill or $100 bill. I want to bring that shit up again.
We all know he has debt. Look, if this was, he says he makes millions from his other businesses that he has. Why would you ever step into a ring for $1 million, for $2 million? You're a man who makes hundreds of millions of dollars just breathing, right? This is what he's always told us. What is the reason? So it's not sad yet. but it has to be a red flag. If Floyd does, we do hear rumors of, nah, man, as soon as they racked up all the IOUs, his fucking bank account went down really fast. If that does happen, because listen, sometimes I ain't never lived a life, but I get it on getting lost in the money, right?
Mhm.
We've all had money, a bank account at some point where you can go to Las Vegas. I'm talking on a poor man's level. Go to Las Vegas and come back home and go, oh, fuck, what did I do this week? Right? What did I do this weekend? Why did I do that? Right? Floyd does that at jewelry stores. Floyd does that buying mansions. He's not buying little shit. He's making 20-something million dollar purchases, you guys. He had an $18 million watch. $18 million watch. He is not the Prince of Dubai. At some point, these fucking price tags are gonna add up. He didn't pay all that shit cash. He didn't say, okay, go into my account and give him the $3 million for that car. Give him the $2 million for that car, the 3 for that, the 4 for that. You remember how he used to add up?
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. It's fascinating to watch his meltdown. And sadly, Fight Net Radio is still voting for this guy to completely melt his life. I will keep saying it. His only moneymaker, if he really wants to make money, and I can still win my bet some 5 years later, just fight Manny Pacquiao in Macau so Manny can take his steroids. Manny's no longer an elected official, right? He literally came in dead last in the presidential election race behind a dictator's child. Oh my God, that's the funniest shit ever. I can't believe nobody else has picked up that Manny Pacquiao, the biggest sports star ever out of the Philippines, lost to a dictator's child. Wow. Wow, Manny. Congratulations on blowing that. All right. This is just for our producer, Sam Navajero. Nikita Tszyu returns to the ring on October 8th. That's it. That's all I got. That's all I got. He's literally the redheaded stepchild of the Tszyu family. He doesn't even get the good training. Robert Garcia wants Anthony Joshua to hold his next camp in California. So if you're not following this week, apparently Anthony Joshua has jumped out of his skin, Miguel.
Mm-hmm.
He has decided that I'm going to fight before the end of the year. I'm going to jump right back into the ring. I got robbed. I'm still a top 10 prospect. Robert Garcia is still going to train him. And he has decided that to get this guy on track, come out to California, hang out with real boxers, actually sweat and see what it's like. Eye of the Tiger. Mm-hmm. He wants Eye of the Tiger, right? This is Rocky 3. You need to come and be with real fighters and get back what you've lost over the way. So I guess the question is, I don't care who he fights. I realize it's going to be a bullshit fight, but he claims he wants to fight a top 15 talent, whatever. What I'm questioning is Anthony Joshua and the amount of money he's made, right? This is really Rocky 3. It really is. Strangely, this is the closest thing we've been to a Rocky 3 scenario. Somebody who's been affected by the money, who in Robert Garcia's mind needs to go back and, I guess, run on the beach and do butterfly laps in a pool and, get Eye of the Tiger and be hungry. Can Joshua come back and still be talent?
That's
before the wait. And here's the caveat: before the end of the year, that's what they want to do.
Oh shit! No, that seems too. I mean, I don't know what the time frame was from when Rocky lost to Clubber to the rematch, but I don't know if he can do
12 minutes if you're watching the movie, but.
Right. I mean, this is not really. I mean, clearly this is a mentality thing, right? It's like, let's get you in here with these dogs. Let's put you in here in this rough environment to roughen you up, so you'll have that mentality of like, no, I ain't going down, or like, when shit hits the fan, he doesn't back away. He bites down in a mouthpiece and throws down. That's kind of like what Robert. Because realistically, I don't think.
Does he know what the
Yeah.
deep water looks like?
Well, I mean, he knows what it looks like. He's just drowned in them a few times. So it's a matter of like him learning how to swim in that deep water. That's the whole point of this, because it's not like Robert Garcia is going to teach him anything new necessarily as far as like
Period.
boxing wise. Yeah.
Wait,
but
hold on.
he's gonna
I don't.
toughen him up,
Let me
which
give you
is-
Andrew's comments before we get there. He won't.
Well, that's the point of this, right? Which is precisely what Rocky was. You know, he's talking, he's in that intense scene with Adrian, and he's like, "I'm scared." Okay, fuck, I'm scared. Like he's trying to tell him like I'm scared, and she's trying to like gather some balls for him, and basically that's what he has to get over. He has to get over that fear in his head, and that's what Apollo Creed helps him with, right? Which is precisely what we're going on here. This is exactly what Robert Garcia is going to try to do. He's going to toughen him up, or at least attempt to put him in this room full of dogs and basically toughen that mind up. So where, I mean, in
Make
my
him a
opinion.
man.
In my opinion, either you have it or you don't, and I don't think he has it. But this is the attempt to gain it. So, I mean, whether or not he can do it, Jam, that remains to be seen. Him coming back in that, and granted, we are talking about a different opponent here in Ruiz, but in that rematch with Ruiz, it showed that he can improve. Granted, technically, not necessarily mentally, but he can improve. He had to get over that hurdle of losing to Ruiz the first time, and he came back and he did it once before. So I have to assume that he has that capability. Whether or not he can do it after 2 straight losses to getting schooled by a smaller guy, I don't know if he can do it this time, but nonetheless, I get what this is trying to do here.
Andrew, can Joshua go old school and have Apollo stand at his side? In this case, Robert Garcia going, "Eye of the tiger, Joshua. Eye of the tiger."
No pain, no pain.
No pain. No pain.
Garcia has an easier job than I first thought when these two got together.
I actually thought he did a great job, considering he changed his style.
Anthony Joshua has the great heavyweight equalizer, and that's size and power. He possesses them both. And what he's missing, and I think we cannot forget this, anywhere Anthony Joshua fights, it must be said on Fight Net Radio, because we say it probably after every single fucking fight he's ever been in, he's not a 12-round fighter. You see, unfortunately, Anthony Joshua started boxing late. I think he was 18 years old when he started fighting in the amateurs. They only prepared him to fight as an amateur. As a pro, he has not been able to adapt to the 12-round length of these fights. As the opposition got better, we see his record has gotten worse, right? He's taken defeats now. I think 2 in his last 3, something like that they were saying. So Garcia needs to make him a 12-round fighter. They need to find a way to make it where Anthony Joshua can hit a heavy bag for 12 fucking rounds and not get tired. If they can do that, he will be probably the heavyweight champion of the world again. Sometime in his career, he will regain a title. Doesn't mean undisputed. I'm not saying he's going to take out Tyson Fury. I'm saying at some point, if he sticks with it and becomes a 12-round fighter, he'll see a belt around his waist again. He's that good. He's went with the best.
He's not Andre Ward. In his mind, he's Andre Ward.
No, you know what? He took a lot of slack for that outburst that he had when really it was triggered by Usyk, man. Usyk walked up to him and said, "You're a strong guy," or "You're a strong puncher." And you know what? Joshua was like, "Fuck you. I'm not just a strong puncher. I'm dedicated to this fucking sport. I know I have skill." I think that triggered him. Now, maybe what he said came off wrong, or but I get now that I see that Usyk walked up to him and basically told him, "You're just an athlete." We know that is disrespectful in the boxing ring. No boxer wants to hear, "Hey, dude, you're a good athlete, bro. Yeah, man, tough punch you got there, guy." No, they don't fucking put in the training that they do to hear that all they are is an athlete. So,
well, you gotta understand there's a language barrier too. Like, I'm sure he didn't mean it necessarily that way, because Usyk,
I don't think Usyk is that guy.
Right,
like, I've never seen him demonstrate being disrespectful.
Yeah, I think it's more of a what's his name, Joshua, taking it the wrong way. Like,
obviously, or he's a bitch. Well,
no,
I'm sorry. Let me quote Kevin Hart. He's a Mitch.
No, you can't say that, because he did call him a strong puncher. He didn't say a strong boxer. And I think Usyk knows
not a strong boxer.
I'm not going to act like Usyk doesn't know what the word boxer is.
But Joshua's not a strong boxer. He's a strong puncher.
Actually, he had a lot of success in that round, in that fight, boxing Usyk. No, I won't agree with that at all. He hurt Usyk, I thought, way more than Usyk ever hurt him. Didn't mean he was winning the rounds.
He did, but it was when he went full power, when he went full blast. It wasn't necessarily
when he laid his weight on him, when he imposed his side.
Even when Usyk blocked the shots, it still sent him reeling. That's why he's like, oh shit, this guy's a heavy fucking hitter. Like when he lets his hands go, he's got the pop. He just didn't let his hands go.
I think that's respectful, dude. You fucking hit.
Yeah.
I mean, look, it's like, if I fought Deontay Wilder,
no.
Wait, hold on. If I fought Deontay Wilder, it would be the same thing.
Right.
Oh my God, no, same thing.
Strong punchers don't go 12 rounds. Strong punchers don't go. He went 12 rounds with Klitschko. He goes 12 rounds with Usyk twice. That's not just. Oh man, you're hella big and you lay on me.
Yeah, he's hella big and he laid on him. What fight did you watch?
Like I said, if Garcia can make him a 12-round fighter, he will be the champion again. Usyk probably don't last 12.
Tyson would still kill him.
If
Tyson would still kill him.
Well, unfortunately, Anthony Joshua has showed time and time again he has a burst. I'm going to bring this up again later. He has a burst of energy, and then he gets tired mentally and physically.
All right, can we agree on another thing too, Andrew? He's got a bullshit chin. He's got a bullshit chin.
There it is. Yes. When you add in the knockout, you're absolutely right. When you add in that drama in his brain, now you're dealing with disaster here. Garcia needs to reverse that. If they can reverse that, Anthony Joshua has shown a ton of skill against.
Oh, yeah. But he's not in his mind. He's Andre Ward. In his mind, he's Andre Ward.
Yeah, but he's not. No, he's not. He's not. He lost to a man that was ranked 15th when he got the title shot. He was knocked out by him. He was knocked out by a man who never even really took a top 10 slot on his own.
He got knocked out by a guy who was eating Roberto's the week before. I mean, it's
true
shocking.
Are starting to show. Go ahead, Lee.
No, I agree with you. Like, he got knocked out by a guy who was eating Roberto's in a Bentley the week before. I mean, that's reality. You got to suck that up, bro. You got to suck up that there was a guy who had shakes and sodas on his hood while he was driving through Roberto's and then knocked your ass out. Knocked your ass out. Like, stopped you to the point where we had to claim it as mental issues, right? That was Tommy Hearn's comment. He wasn't mentally ripe for the fight.
Yeah, it was New York. It was like the lies. He had never been like that before. Yada yada.
He had breakdown in the
and he did it
in the locker room.
Right? He did it after this fight. So what's his response? I'm going to go right back into the gym. I'm going to show right back up. All right, cool. I'm with Garcia. Go fight with real animals, right? Like, this is actually, this isn't Rocky 3. This is more like what's the Adonis thing where they go to the desert and stand in a tire, right? Like, you got to learn to go stand in there, and because guys like Usyk,
hey Lee, it only
guys
works,
like Usyk and Ruiz
it only
stand
works
in there
if
and
he's
throw.
doing the round robin. He's fighting 4 guys, 3 rounds. He's got to do 12 rounds. I don't give a fuck if he's sparring guys and he's only doing 8 rounds and 10 rounds. Anthony Joshua can fight that. He needs to be able to fight a 12-round fight. If he can fight a 12-round fight without getting tired off of 1 fucking combo or 2 combos.
And that's how he lost the fight. No doubt. No doubt, Andrew. I'm with you. He lost that fight in the 10th round when Usyk came in there and showed all sorts of big man power. Right.
Well, there was times, like you guys said, he hurts him. And then he just laying on him. He's got this stupid smile. He can't throw a punch because he needs to breathe. And it's like, dude, fucking fight, throw. He can't do it. He needs to change that.
Here's the thing, Andrew. I know this for me. The minute I physically get knocked out based on my concussion history, I'm done. Right. Like, here's what I don't get about fighters. And I saw this last night with Ortiz. I'm now watching this repeatedly as I I'm considering going to the Pan Am Games. Actually, my trainer here in Vegas. No, Eddie's like talking me into. Yeah.
Hard not to say it was stupid.
I want to go to the World Championships. I do. But here's the thing.
You can buy a ticket.
Well, no, it comes down to the same thing. Once you get legit knocked out, how do you think you're not broken? I mean, seriously, Andrew, he's been legitimately touched.
Mhm.
That light bulb is broken officially.
That's Garcia's thing. And he's had 3 fights since that light bulb was out. He's done fine. I think he's won 12 rounds in every single fight. He's done fine. Usyk outboxed him. I don't know if Usyk, besides the 10th round, really dominated Anthony Joshua, submitted him. Like Canelo has looked in some of his fights where he just looks broken in the ring. Doesn't want to fight, be there.
Yeah, I'm really well, and that's the drama with Triple G, right?
Anthony didn't look like that against Usyk, in my opinion. So I think there's something there for Garcia to work with. It's a lot better position than I had them in going into that fight. That's all I'm saying here. I don't even know if it's going to work, Lee. What I'm saying is they need to make him a 12-round fighter, and then see what they got after that. If Garcia comes out of their training camp going, I got this guy throwing fucking 100 punches or 70 punches for 3 minutes for 12 rounds. I know we're ready. He sparred everybody. Then Anthony Joshua is going to be a scary force, dude. The guy's big. He knows how to use his height. He throws a heavy punch. They just got to get him to punch more. I legit think his body work was set up to stop Usyk that night. I do think there was going to be a Ward Kovalev moment. Maybe not for the 10 count, but he was hurting him big. He never even threw 3 in a row. Can you throw 3 in a row? Can you lay on him and just dig to the body one time? I don't know if Usyk stands up to it.
Miguel?
No, that's it. I mean, that was my spiel about the Rocky thing. But so Andrew, just to confirm, you're thinking it's a physical thing, like the fact that he can't take a punch and he has to be a 12-round fighter.
I think
so
he's
it's not a
afraid to
mental
let his
thing.
hands
It's not a mental thing, or do you think is that too?
The mental thing could be there, but it's the physical first. They've seen this in amateur fighters before. De La Hoya was one that they used to say he didn't adapt to being a pro right away. It was years before he was able to actually go 12 rounds. I think Anthony Joshua is totally that guy. Starting boxing so late, and where he was by the age of 26, he's already in a fight with Klitschko. Like, this is insane how fast his career moved. Was he able?
Well, no, no, I would ask this question, Andrew. When you're working with Junior or watching him in the ring, how does he react when he gets hit?
Oh, no, very good. He doesn't.
He's like me, right? Like, he enjoys it.
Well, I won't say he enjoys it. I'm not going to go that far.
He's not crazy.
But he definitely will try to do defense. You know what I'm saying? Like, right away, he'll try to move his head. He tries to fire back.
But if he has to, he'll take it like a man, right?
All of his reactions have been good so far. Yes, I've been very happy with
there's something to be said, and I keep saying this. This is what defined so many fighters who've crossed over to the UFC, so many fighters in boxing, even Mayweather. There are people who don't like getting hit. Like, you've got to kind of enjoy it on some level. I know people have looked at me and laughed about the thing. I like getting hit. Like, I'm into it. Like, there is some kind of, if you don't, then why would you want to do it again? There is no way to get around if you're Anthony Joshua, if you're Andy Ruiz, if you're King Kong Bundy, right?
Hey, Lee,
you're going to get hit by really big hitters, and you better be able to eat that like it was a sugar pill. Like, hey, Miguel, you better.
I used to get in the ring when I was little and be like, man, Chavez's style, I don't know. It kind of sucks, man.
No. My favorite, people ask me all the time.
Bro, took a lot of those right off the fucking chin, man.
I have told this story, and I've told Miguel the story. I go, oh, no, Andrew was great until he got hit for real.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, what the hell's going on here? And it's not that hard to pick off shots.
Scary as crap. Like, there are people who are gifted with hands that are made out of lead, for God's sakes. I'm not going to dispute Deontay Wilder's power. I'm not going to dispute Anthony Joshua's power. I'm not going to dispute Ruiz or Ortiz or Tyson Fury, for that matter. However, you better be able to eat that shot, bro. You better, like, it's gonna happen. Like, it's gonna happen. I have sparred with legitimate top 10 pros, and you accidentally catch them, and they'll look at you and go, "You caught me."
Well, the trainer catches them. I mean, come on, you do mitts and you get caught with punches. So, yes.
It's just part of the game. It's just part of the game. And what I'm afraid with Anthony Joshua, who is literally almost like a designed athlete, dude, you don't have the chin for boxing, bro. You just don't. You just don't. You don't want to get hit. And he's scared. All I see is scared. Am I wrong, Miguel? All I keep seeing every time he fights, can I get to the outside? Can I fight that outside jab, right hand?
Well, I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, I guess I don't know if scared is necessarily the word I'm looking for, but
Or he's got the weak chin for it.
Definitely timid, because it's almost. I mean, what Andrew was saying, it's almost like he needs to reserve himself at the beginning to make sure that he makes it to 12 rounds, and in doing so, he ends up, potentially giving rounds. So, I mean, there's some sort of timidness, if that's a word, there.
Well, he could go the Klitschko route, right? Right. Klitschko was getting beat up and put down because he wanted to trade. Then he changed that style, went to a jab outside right hand, right? Both brothers went to the same style, and they were both caught early in their career by everyone. Everyone beat up the Klitschkos. I think that's what everybody forgets. The first half of the Klitschko career is all about them getting knocked down, knocked out, TKO'd. And then they all learned this outside right hand technique where they learned how to box. And Joshua just doesn't adapt to it.
Well, has it yet? So maybe he still has the capabilities to do it. We're not sure. We're going to see where this goes with Garcia here, but we'll say he hasn't been able to as of now.
Because their performance was a lot better on the rematch against Usyk, who Lee was saying is the greatest fighter of all time. He was 2 fights away from that.
He's better than Klitschko. If I'm ranking my power ranking now, it's
look,
Usyk,
the guy's
Klitschko.
done a lot. The guy's done a lot. He's Olympic proven. He's cruiserweight undisputed. He's heavyweight. I get
probably undefeated since about 12 or 13, Andrew. I don't need to look it up, but let's guess it's around there. And then, by the way, number 3, Andre Ward.
He's 24 rounds in with him. It's not totally. This is not Wilder versus Fury type domination. Let's give Garcia one shot. I think they're very close to having something there. It was a good fight. They have something to build on.
It was different.
The body shot. I really thought the left took the body.
I agree.
He did great. And look, and I had Usyk win. Now scratching my head like, I hate getting these fights wrong, you guys. I don't like picking the wrong guy. And not saying that AJ won. I'm saying I was nervous during the fight. Like, man, he's really putting hands on him. Garcia has showed him he's brought in a different element to his game. This wasn't just Anthony Joshua was prepared, made weight, and now he's fighting. He had a different element to his game. He added a left hook to the body. And in my opinion, it was very successful. It was successful enough to say, let's give him a fight. Garcia, if he's a good trainer, you're going to know you need a 12-round puncher out of this guy. You get a 12-round puncher, you might have something there. So a good fight.
He needs like an Ortiz. He needs someone who will go the distance and push him, but not too hard.
Yeah, just jab.
Yeah, I mean, and what I saw out of Ortiz, well, we'll get to it. Ortiz in that outside game, 2 outside guys, that would be interesting to me.
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
Except not a southpaw. It's too complicated.
Not a southpaw. They're too complicated.
Yeah.
Bival Ramirez, which launches what we've all feared. All fights are going to Abu Dhabi. I don't know. We've talked about this fight, and we're all jacked up about the fight. I think what I brought this story up for is Vegas and New York are going to lose out to Abu Dhabi. Andrew? Question mark?
I believe it's only for a short period of time. I think they're going with the guaranteed money right now because America is just there's a lot of question marks here on our travel, on people's, with financial stability to go to these types of fights and pay these prices that, that these companies are now
but
asking.
You want to watch my cousin from the Sudan fight his nephew.
Yeah, it doesn't matter when food went up, right? You're paying $18 a plate now at any restaurant you go to. Gas is over $5.50, almost $6 now anywhere you go. Like all that starts mattering, Lee. When your fucking room is
Why do you think I moved to
$300.
Vegas, dude? I can go eat all you can eat sushi for $30. Like it's a joke.
It's just not everyone's the same, Lee. There's not everyone's like, oh, where can I nickel and dime this whole fucking thing? Not everybody's like that. So the price that they're want to pay for something that they are used to going to, because remember, this is not everyone's first time in Vegas. They've seen an big increase in price changes, and no, maybe people aren't traveling to these things as much. You got to go with the guaranteed money. And unfortunately, out there is guaranteed fucking money. They ain't looking. You haven't heard one time.
A lot of it.
Yeah, you haven't heard one time Abu Dhabi go, oh, you know what we did on our live gate? They don't give a fuck about the live gate out there. Put it that way.
Yeah, or pay-per-view sales or any of that shit.
Is this where it's going? He has the cash, wins the fight.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the way it always was, I mean, especially with the Vegas, you know what I'm saying? When Vegas was the cash, then this is where it was at. But I mean, I don't know. It looks like that's the direction that things are going, at least for like international fighters. And I mean, like outside of the U.S., of course. So if it's anything like that, then I would have to say yeah. But even people here in like in the States, when they start thinking about going over there, it seems as though that's the direction it's going. Let's cross our fingers and hope that at the very least Vegas gets a couple of fights. I mean, we got Canelo Triple G, which is kind of a formality at this point. It's not like there's that much interest in it, but it does appear as though that's the direction we're going. In regards to the fight itself with Ramirez and Bivol, I mentioned this before. I mentioned it to my pops. It could be. It seems as though Ramirez might be the monkey wrench in the plans of a potential rematch with Bivol and Canelo. Considering
Listen, bro,
Canelo gets
you
passed.
don't know. You don't know. You don't know, bro.
I'm on your side. I'm on your side,
Yeah.
Oscar.
Listen, bro, you don't know.
Sure.
Ramirez is going to win, and then he's going to fight Canelo, and I don't care if he doesn't think the two Mexicans should fight, bro, even though I'm not really from Mexico, bro. Listen, that's the fight fans want. They want Ramirez versus Canelo, even if it's in Abu Dhabi and I make like $10 million.
Terrible. If that fight goes over there, I'm gonna have to say like, yes, it has officially happened. That's like the two Mexican dudes in fucking Abu Dhabi. Come on now, that's
right.
Come on, that's bad.
And Oscar is literally jacking off in a corner thinking about it.
Yes, yes, he is. The potential money he could make off of there, it's like he's already calling up the people over there and be like, "Hey guys, you guys have a venue ready for me?"
No, the minute Ramirez wins, listen, bro. When Ramirez wins, I want Canelo to walk in because you've got to deal with him, right, bro? Like I want him to walk in and immediately we'll announce the date for like February 3rd, and then we'll have the fight. Like what are you talking about, asshole? Like this whole new thing, which we saw the other night, right? With the Chocolatito fight. We're getting to it. Okay, you won. Your next fight's in 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
You're going right back to the gym.
We already got the venue. Yep, already got the venue. Reserved.
Oh my God, Andrew.
But to his defense, Estrada, he's been on the sidelines for a while. That could be him saying he needs to make some money. They had a COVID hit in their camp, and it kind of threw their momentum off. He was on his way to having some big matches made.
Listen, bro, I watched that whole thing, bro. Listen, bro, I watched that. Even though you didn't get your autograph, bro, and you're angry about me, bro. Listen, bro. Listen. I like the formula. That's a big word for me, formula. It means lots of stuff in a jar.
Very good. What I would say about Abu Dhabi is don't be surprised if it's Eddie Hearn's connection that's getting his fighters out there too. It seems like the UK.
I don't disagree. Look, the fighters should get the money. Like they should.
Isn't there
it seems like they? Yeah, they party a lot more out there than they do over here. Yeah, you definitely don't see the UK fighters in Vegas. You see them in Abu Dhabi. So that's probably where Eddie Hearn's connection is taking him. If they were American promoters, you would probably see a lot more of these fights happening in Vegas. That's it. That's I just don't want to leave that alone because I've said that before. And that's what the internet tells us, man. Eubank, Khan, Fury, all of these dudes have always been linked to Abu Dhabi, never Las Vegas.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There's, I mean, we all know that there's like a really big like Middle Eastern community in the UK, you know, and in London in particular. So yeah, I mean, there's already that connection, and of course, you know, what's his name, Hearn, Tommy Hearn being that descent. So yes, it's understandable that his connection is over there, and on top of the fact that there's cash over there, of course. But yeah, he's already got that networking going.
Let's move forward. If you did not watch Deontay Wilder on the interview, which I literally sent Miguel like 400 comments. Oh my God, he was spectacular last night in his crazy comments. The one that Boxing Scene picked up on, and that Joe Goosen picked up on, that Lennox Lewis picked up on, is this: I've done 407 rounds of sparring, and I haven't even started camp yet. Is this not the batshit craziest thing ever, Miguel?
Well, here's the thing. I don't think he's talking about actual sparring. I think
Well,
it's just
and
like
that was
rounds
what
of
they
anything.
speculated last night, right?
Yeah, because there's no fucking way. I mean, come on now. Like, I mean,
They said it was
maybe,
like 37 rounds a day that he's fighting.
Yeah, I mean, it could be because, I mean, keep in mind, like, if you see him physically, he's a lot less muscular, right? Like, his muscles are smaller. And generally speaking, in fights, or I guess sports that are more cardio, like boxing, fighters aren't buff. You know, they're just, you know, they're fit. They're very thin and they're very svelte, but they have great cardio. So it may be. I mean, I'm not sure if that's what he was referring to, but it doesn't seem like, I mean, it's wild. It's crazy that he's doing it, but it doesn't seem out of the realm of possibility considering how much smaller he's gotten.
Listen, your king is back. I've been sparring 407 rounds.
Good Lord.
He said it like it was like a nothing statement. Andrew, you watched last night and tried to quiet me and Miguel down because I could not believe Deontay Wilder last night.
I couldn't even finish rounds. You sent so many texts at one. I'm looking down longer, and then I'm trying to respond, and I look up, and like 30 seconds just went by. I'm like, dude, I need to watch the fight. I just, you know what?
That's how I feel when I'm out on a Saturday and you guys are watching a shit Dazen card.
Hey, there was 70 something text messages delivered before the main event, Lee. Before the main event. I said, oh my God.
Oh my God. Deontay Wilder by himself in that filler piece talking about his 407 rounds was the craziest thing ever. To which Joe Goosen went, yeah, that's like 37 rounds a day.
Yeah, and then his fight is what, next month?
Yeah, right. And even Joe Goosen said it. He hasn't started real camp yet. So what you're telling me is that he's sparring 30 plus rounds a day and he hasn't started camp yet? Like, what is going on Deontay's head, Andrew?
They don't have real trainers, right? They're a bunch of guys that are in his backyard, and Malik Scott might be a former fighter, but you know, who schooled him? You know what I mean? Like, who's his predecessor that made him this elite trainer? I really don't know. We've seen him work with Deontay Wilder's career for a while now. Has he ever picked his game up? Have we seen him advance? Have we seen him grow? No, he has the same flaws that he's always had. He's really a one-trick pony on just his right hand, baby.
Doesn't know how to box, does he?
You get past that right hand, you defeat this guy every time. I'm dead serious on that. But that right hand's legit. That's Mike Tyson knockout shit legit. You know what I mean? He's a fucking video game. But that's all he is. So Helenius has a real opportunity here. If Helenius can bring a decent game plan, there might be an opportunity for an upset here. You got a guy that's probably going to be overtrained when he steps into that ring. Guarantee you that.
Well, I think the most interesting thing, Andrew, is can somebody teach him how to box?
No, that shit sailed. He's 36 years old. What is he, 36, 35 years old, something like that? That shit
right, and he's been knocked down. Tyson Fury rang the bell.
Yeah, no, you know, you guys were talking about that earlier. This man has been humbled. He's been knocked out twice. And not only has he been knocked out twice, you guys, the injury list has not been nice, right? Fucking bleeding to the brain, ruptured eardrums, broken arms. Like, the list of injuries that Deontay Wilder himself said he's had during training camps and fights with Tyson Fury, I believe has humbled him. I think if they were to ask him today, do you still want a body on your record? I think that answer would be different today because
I'd
of
like a
Tyson
win.
Fury.
He'd be humble. I just like a
Yeah.
win.
Yeah. I really do, because that's what happens when you get knocked the fuck out. And he's been knocked the fuck out twice, man. Like, this is legit ass whoopings. He's been dominated by another man. You are not the fucking king. Tyson Fury is the king in the boxing ring. His ego knows he is not the best. You
He
got to
jumped in the ring last night like he was the king, ready for Andy.
And that's a 50-50 fight. It's a great fight. I like Wilder's size, but Ruiz got a legit hand speed. Look, there was two things said last night that was great. One, I got to compliment the PBC commentators. They kept it real, man.
Goosen.
These guys.
Everybody else can go fuck themselves. Goosen was the bomb last night.
Yeah. Yes.
Holy shit, he was great.
Him and Lennox, because I'm telling you right now, I don't think Lennox Lewis, I don't think he agrees with the Andy Ruiz success story. Boxing is about being dedicated. It's about true athletes. Some of the best athletes in the world perform in these boxing rings. Andy Ruiz is not that guy. I loved when Lennox Lewis said, yeah, he has fast hands, but his feet are slower. Woo! That was ugly. Look, it ain't easy.
It's hard. It's really hard. I swear this to anyone. And this is why I get pissed off at Dan Rayfield for ranking fights or anyone else. Until you walk into the ring and let a human throw punches at you in this sport, I don't care if it's in the cage or in the ring, you just don't effing know. Like, it's a different world. Like, you don't know what it's like to have the fans around you. You don't know what that energy's like. The only reason I ever did it because I felt like a fraud making fun of these guys until I actually walked out there and went, oh, this is messed up. This is really messed up. Like, forget the fight. Like, the fight is more mechanical. I've sparred many, 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 many people and I enjoy it, but there's no one around. When you have that energy of a crowd beating on you and they're behind you, or they hate you or whatever it is, you just don't know what that energy's like. It's really weird. Like,
Especially a heavyweight championship.
Oh my
fight.
God, I cannot even imagine where they're chanting your name and doing that
NFL, you know what I mean?
craziness. Yeah, it's super claustrophobic, right? They're all looking for you to like get a knockout. You want to come out of your game plan and go for broke. It's weird, Andrew. I mean, I'm sure you've experienced it in the amateur.
But not at their type of level.
Oh my God. Arena level is really sketchy. Like, it's really, I'm going to use the word. I'll use Al Heyman secondly. I'm blessed, thanks to God, that I was able to go through 2 experiences in arena or large type settings. And thank you, Al Heyman. Secondary.
That's awesome. Someone out there believed that too. Oh man, see, Al Heyman had Lee Harness too.
Yeah, no, he did. I'll second to God, because I didn't die. But when you walk out to an arena, like these guys are, like San Diego, LA, MGM, T-Mobile, these are big ass places where you can feel the fans on you. Like, it's super claustrophobic. And I was joking with my trainer, even the night I had my fight. The first thing he said, you're going to feel claustrophobic. I go, what are you talking about? Like, this is no big deal. Like, I'm ready. Like, he's like 3 feet shorter than me. Like, I'm not worried. And he goes, you don't know. And then the minute you get in that ring, all the eyes are on you. Everybody wants you. Everybody wants you to do something. And you've got a choice, Andrew. You've got a choice. Do I fight my game plan, or do I give the fans what they want and risk my health?
What we're actually talking about.
Well, I think Deontay is caught up in his fans again. I swear to God, I see Deontay getting caught up in the hype of wanting to be in the fans. And he's going to get hurt. He does not. Tell me I'm wrong, Miguel. This dude does not have the boxing skill to be in the top 10.
No, but he has that great equalizer. He's got the pop that because, and he said it before, and I mean I don't want to necessarily agree with him, but he is right. Like most of his opponents have to fight the perfect fight every second of every fight. All he takes is just one fucking shot, and the lights are out, and he's proven it time and time again. Granted, he can't always bail himself out with that, but he's got it just in case, and he's gonna swing for the fences every single time. He did. It just Tyson took it.
He got the
Yeah,
Undertaker awakening.
He did. So I mean, when he realized, I mean, that's the thing. Twice he finds the guy who can take his punches. Now it's like shit. Oh, now what do I do? So yes,
right.
It's
Real
not.
Top
I guess it's not always the bailout. You know what I'm saying? But he's got it. And not everybody's Tyson Fury. So I mean,
right.
he can probably
So
take
here's what we're
out.
leading to. Here's what we're leading to. Joshua versus Deontay Wilder.
No,
that's where we're going.
No, it's
Ruiz. No, it's Wilder. It's definitely Wilder versus Joshua.
Oh my God.
It's Ruiz Wilder first.
It's Ruiz, bro.
No, I get that. Right. And he's going to do one more tune-up. But I'm telling you that the fight that gets them to... All right. Does anyone here think that Tyson Fury is going to lose to Usyk?
No.
No, the favorite has to be Tyson Fury. The favorite.
Right. I agree. And by the way, the betting odds are that way. All right. So he comes out of that. So we all know Anthony Joshua is going to give himself a top 10. We all know that Deontay Wilder more than likely should come through Robert Helenius, which leads him to those two guys meeting up to get to Tyson Fury. That's what I'm talking about. Does Deontay Wilder get through Anthony Joshua? Right. Can he handle a real boxer? Like, I mean, that's what Garcia's building. That's what I saw out of the last fight. And I'm sorry to say I'm Navajero. I'm talking real boxing again. But
good one.
What I saw out of Robert Garcia, I've changed my thoughts, Andrew, on Robert Garcia. They changed Anthony Joshua. He wasn't there. He really does need to come to California. He does need to train, and he needs to learn to get tough, right? But I'm
willing to give Garcia that. If I'm Anthony Joshua, from what that fight looked like,
I think there's something there.
Yeah, willing to come out here and give him a shot at this.
Deontay is never getting through Joshua. That's the only way back to those titles.
Listen, Joshua, when you go back to that, his chin though, Lee, that has potential of ending in the first, second round.
Same with Deontay. Deontay.
Exactly. No, exactly. That's why Deontay is a real question mark. When you match him up against people, he has the ultimate equalizer, man. Like, hey, it's exactly what Miguel said, what Wilder told us. You got to be perfect. That is the video game. Don't you remember playing those Mike Tyson opponents? You fuck up on their signature move and they knock you out or knock you down every time. You got to watch out for their signature move. That's Deontay Wilder, man. He's got that one punch that you really have to watch out for. And so yes, it's 50-50 because Joshua's chin is terrible. And not only is that terrible, it seems like he doesn't come back from punches good, right? His brain stays there for a while, like in the clouds. Any punch can get him back to that moment. And
here's the curveball, Andrew. Now Andy Ruiz has learned how to be a boxer, right? You got to add him into the mix.
Go first, Miguel.
I'm not sure about that. Because he doesn't have, like, it's almost like what Lennox was saying, how he's got slow legs, slow feet, right? But he tries to have it. He tries, and I'm not sure that's working to his benefit. Like, if he's gonna be flat-footed, then get good at learning how to fucking fight flat-footed. Don't try to be the boxer, because there's been a few times where he's been bouncing on his toes, and it's like, no, you really don't need to be doing that because you got slow feet anyway. But yes, he does have fast hands. He was far too. I mean, we'll get to it shortly here, but he was far too inactive yesterday for me to even say, like, yeah, most boxers don't have like lulls like that. I mean, they'll have small lulls, but throughout the fight like that.
I mean, okay, so let's take these 6 guys, right? Would we all agree that it's Usyk Tyson, right? Like, those are the guys, right?
Yes, of course. Yes.
All right, so Usyk against Deontay Wilder. Andrew.
Usyk.
Miguel.
Yeah, Usyk as well. Yes.
Okay. Let's take Ruiz, right? Usyk versus Ruiz, Miguel.
Oh yes, Usyk still.
Right? He outboxes him completely.
Yes.
Andrew?
Yeah, Andy Ruiz has shown me nothing since the miracle night he had against Anthony Joshua.
All right, let's rotate it in. Tyson Fury. Size and boxing. So we already know how we feel about Usyk. We already know what Tyson Fury does against Deontay. What does Tyson Fury do against Anthony Joshua, Miguel?
Shit. He basically beats him in the press conference. He beats him in the weigh-ins. He beats him
Nice.
mentally.
Wow.
He already beats him before the
Wow.
fight even fucking gets in the ring.
Wow. That's a hot
awesome.
take. Ba, 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 ba.
You know what? Someone should send that. You soundbite that right there. You send it to Tyson Fury. I promise you, he will use that in the first press conference.
Oh my God.
I just defeated him, and he'll look right at him
Beats
now.
him at the press conference.
He's
Wow.
going to be ahead in the scorecards before the first bell even goes off. Yeah.
You're what? And Miguel gives the hottest hot take ever on Fight Net Radio. Oh my God, he beats him at the press conference. You've actually made me rethink the title.
Well, thank you.
Andrew, how does Tyson Fury do against Joshua?
Yeah, I agree with it's hard to go with
At
what
the
Miguel
press
just
conference?
said there. Yeah, because Joshua is so weak on the mental side of this thing. Now, obviously, Usyk even triggered him. You know, Tyson Fury's seen that sound bite. He's gonna be very heavy on. He's just a puncher. He's just a puncher. This guy doesn't do anything else. You watch how heavy he's gonna lean on that now that he knows it gets under his skin.
Well, that leaves Tyson Fury with Anthony Ruiz, right?
Dude,
How does
Ruiz
Tyson
is
Fury
shit. We
do with
gotta
Anthony
talk about
Ruiz, Andrew?
Yeah, I got to talk about his fight before I talk about his future.
I know, but I'm just
The future-
I'll
the
go
future
straight
is-
into that fight right next. But how does Tyson Fury do against Ruiz?
Come on, he beats his ass in 3 rounds. Andy Ruiz would never even be able to reach Tyson Fury. You guys, and I told you this when he fought Wilder, and I was correct on that one. When I said Wilder would not land a punch in some of those rounds, he did not land a punch in 2 of the rounds with Fury. It's worse when you talk Andy fucking Ruiz, and I'm going to tell you why. Not only is he short and fat, he's got no arm length to even reach Tyson Fury. The guy's so fat, his defense is very limited. He doesn't bend over. He doesn't duck under punches. He kind of just waits for you to stop punching him and then tries to hug you or respond with the combo. But he's got nothing as far as defense. You know what that's going to look like to a master boxer like Tyson Fury or Usyk?
Or even Joshua, for that matter. I mean, Joshua showed it in the second fight, right? Like, boxing will beat this guy.
Yeah, they're going to use his head like a fucking speed bag. Luis Ortiz used his head like a speed bag, only using a jab. Unfortunately, Luis Ortiz is 49 years old. Hey, Lee, did you see that we got tagged in the picture with Ortiz and Jack Johnson?
No. No.
Someone tagged you in the photo, dude. If you go to your Facebook.
Tagged me.
Yeah, they tagged you.
Oh, my God. I got to keep up.
And then I also got
told, God bless you, fans. Wait, let me thank God and then Al Heyman for you tagging me in a photo. I got to get them in the right order. I don't know what I expected out of last night. Like, I expected, Andrew, let's segue into this, right? Like, why didn't he just knock Ortiz out? Ortiz is a statue.
I love Lennox and Guzin. Look, Lennox said his power is intermittent, meaning he can't do a full round, right? He only brings these little glimpses of greatness with his hand speed. But overall, he's fucking overweight. And they kept saying it. And it wasn't.
Oh, no. What was the comment last night? You've got a guy who's overweight against a guy who's too old.
If this guy tried to actually bob and weave and act like a real fighter, he would be falling down because of his gut. Seriously, that's why he's very stationary. He only takes steps backwards, puts his hands out.
Top 5, Andrew. Got to be honest. Top 5.
He's ranked 15 when he won the title. He then loses the titles, 6 months later? 8 months later, what was the rematch? The rematch I thought happened really fast.
It was.
Not the heavy.
The original was, I think, in June, and then the rematch was in December, something like that.
Yeah. He loses his title in fucking months, you guys. This guy was not the heavyweight champ for a long time. His next 2 fights are both against gatekeepers at best in Chris Arreola and Luis Ortiz.
But that was the point of our last discussion. These are the top 5, top 6.
That should be great for his paychecks, right? He can stay around the top 5. But when we're talking about him versus anybody else in the division, he's gonna get used. This guy is not a heavyweight. He has fast hands, but that is it. That is where it stops. Everything else is bad with Ruiz. And I'm telling you right now, if Luis Ortiz was actually 43 years old, he would have knocked Andy Ruiz out last night. He was using his head like a fucking.
Wait, hold on. I got to unpack that one. If he was actually 43 last night.
Yes. Yeah, he don't even have to take it into his 30s, bro. No. He was abusing. Look, he did great just keeping him at bay. The kid's younger. He's faster. He should have walked right through Ortiz. Ortiz's hand speed could not keep up with Ruiz's, but his boxing skill could. And it was just, I don't know. It was
do we agree with what I said last night, which is Ortiz is not 43, he's 53.
Yeah. Yes.
He looked like it, right?
Hey, Lee, he just threw a jab. Come on, he got put. He got
That's
dropped.
all Klitschko ever did.
No. Klitschko still had a big right hand. Ortiz got dropped early. He knows he can't match this young man's speed, and he's nervous. He's just working the jab. He's trying not to get KO'd in front of his kids, man. You've seen his daughter crying. They're covering.
Oh my God, they couldn't look.
They're covering her head because she knows. No one wants to see their dad get beat like that. And I think Ortiz knew that his daughter was at the wrong motherfucking fight, and we're just gonna get a paycheck and go home today. That's what that fight got turned into. Now, unfortunately, Fat Boy, fucking undisciplined, fucking overweight, lazy ass, fucking Andy Ruiz couldn't do anything about it. I swear to God, there was a round where
he was outboxed. He was like, if this was an Olympic fight and you fought amateurs, Andrew, who won this fight?
Oh yeah, no doubt. I think the scoring was in his favor. Yes, I think
Ortiz was completely in his favor. If this was based on CompuBox or the way the Olympics score it.
Before, I think the Olympics did go to a 10-point system, though, didn't they?
Yeah, recently. I think they recently switched to 10-point.
They did switch it, but I agree. I know what you're saying, Lee. I know what you're saying.
I think Ortiz did an amazing boxing job. Miguel, I mean, what the hell? I mean, truthfully, excluding the push down, which I don't want to text Tom and find out what the fuck he was thinking for the push down, because that second one was a push down. I think we can all agree the second knockdown was a push down. But I don't question Tom. I've known Tom, and we've used him as an ally on this show to ask him what he thinks repeatedly on this show. What did you think while you watched it?
Well, I mean, I'm not sure if it's a matter of discipline with Ruiz. Like, the dude's a big dude as it is. I don't think any amount of dieting is gonna like get him that much slimmer, at least to the point where it doesn't affect his performance.
Roberto's, come on, we all love Roberto's.
Right. Yeah, he was ruined early.
He was way Roberto that night.
Exactly. At this point, it doesn't matter how much exercise or dieting he does. I mean, have you seen the guy's legs, his thighs?
Well, he said it earlier in the week. I'm gonna eat what I want to eat, and I'm gonna train how I want to train. Okay, cool. You're just relying on what he's throwing right here, which is this right hand, right?
Yeah. And again, if he is going to be competing with the heavyweights, which is where the money is, not one weight division below at cruiser or anything like that, then he's going to need the mass. He's a short, stocky dude. He's going to need the mass to be able to take the punches and be able to, handle a heavyweight punch. So at this point, we're not going to expect him to look like an Adonis by any stretch. So I'm not sure if he can help it at this point.
But I mean, all right, forget Tyson Fury. Let's just consider him in that Klitschko class. You can't beat a cruiserweight, bro. Like, there's a cruiserweight who's going to come in and do this for real.
Well, I mean, yes, exactly. But if he can throw these kinds of hands against Usyk, we might see a better performance with him than Joshua. Because
Yeah, but
all
Usyk
Joshua had to do
has
was throw.
never shown a weak chin.
No, I know. I mean, but still, it's like he gets. We don't know. Like as long as Ruiz can be more fucking active. I'm not saying he's gonna beat Usyk, but I think he can have a much better performance than fucking what's his name than AJ. You know, I would like to see him throw. I would like to see him be more active because what I saw last night was just too inactive. I mean, for fuck's sake, I actually had with my scorecard was with Ortiz ahead in the rounds, but because of the
The
knockdowns,
knockdowns, right.
I
So the
had
knockdowns were everything, and that's
Yes.
why I actually texted Tom, and I'm like, "Are you sure?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm sure."
Yeah, and specifically that second knockdown, because like I only had a 1 point difference. So
It was
if
a
that
push.
if that pushdown was not a knockdown, I would have had it a draw on my scorecard.
So in Tom
Damn.
Taylor's, so
The
in Tom Taylor's,
PBC
so in
draw.
Tom Taylor's mind, so in Tom
Hey.
Taylor's mind, when he grabbed that leg, that's what gave him the second knockdown.
Is that what it was?
Hey, hey, Al Heyman's all. Hey, write down Miguel's name as a future.
Well, no, they're both still alive. Wait,
had
let's
the
be
lovely
honest
draw.
about this fight. I mean, we talked about this a week ago, right? Somehow they magically got one more fight out of King Kong, right? Legit.
They
He's
really
got
did it,
one more
but
fight.
yeah. I will not pay to watch Ortiz fight. I'm sorry.
No,
You
but
can
he's
say it's
Fox
a gap
regular.
filler.
He's Fox regular.
You could say this is a gap filler on some undercard, but as far as him like fighting Deontay Wilder on a PBC main event, no, it's already happened twice,
No.
he's been
But
knocked
what
out.
about? Well, we've got to talk about Joseph Parker, who's slowly working his way up.
He's fighting Joe Joyce though.
Yeah,
he's
we'll see-
fighting.
we'll see
Well,
there.
when he comes out
We'll
of
see
that,
that.
the
We'll
winner
see
of that could easily fight Ortiz.
And I don't know if Al Heyman releases him, but yeah, we'll see. Al Heyman's not big on that. He likes his own stable fighting these guys.
Well,
Yeah,
we all know where
hey,
Ruiz
look,
is going.
if
We
you guys-
all know where he's going. You are
he's going.
Deontay's
Yeah,
next victim.
he's literally the winner of Wilder Helenius because I believe Helenius's career will be started with the PBC. If he does beat Wilder, that'll be him taking out two PBC stabled fighters in the young Polish kid from Chicago, Kalinowski. Is that his name?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kalinowski.
Adam,
Yeah,
yeah.
which is what they were building. By the way, fun fact, this is Mauricio Suleiman. Mauricio? Or yeah, it's Mauricio
Yeah, that's
Suleiman.
Mauricio right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Did
And
anyone
Helenius-
watch him be excited when Ruiz won?
Helenius,
Like he jumped around like a goddamn child after the fight. Watch.
Helenius is
Watch him
huge.
announce. Watch Suleiman get excited about the winner. He's cool there. He goes over and shakes people, but then he winds up in later video jumping around happily like a fucking moron. I'm just fascinated. Look, why are you so happy? What? Oh, yeah, no, what's that? Wait,
Helenius
hold on.
is a
What's
big-
that?
Come on.
No, well, no, I can't stop the commercials.
All right. Helenius is a big white guy. He's a
Yeah.
Viking. I think
Oh, I'm all about Helenius.
him and Tyson Fury make huge money.
Helenius
if
is
Al
the
Heyman
spoiler in
builds
this
him up.
formula. Can Helenius outbox Deontay, Andrew?
No, you just knock him out because Deontay will be overworked. He'll throw a few punches, be gassed because he's tired
Done
as fuck.
500 rounds by then.
Yeah,
1,000.
No, he wants to do 1,000. Let's not get it wrong. He wants to do 1,000 rounds. He's
That's
already
what
at
he said
400
last
leads.
night. I want to do 1,000 rounds. What a dipshit.
And not once, at least from my opinion, not once did you hear the Hall of Famer Lennox Lewis or Dan Guzan.
Say it was a good idea.
Yeah, we used to do that all the time. Don't worry about that.
Oh my God. That's literally the craziest shit ever.
Yeah,
The things that came out of this fight are batshit crazy. I'm legit crazy.
I also liked when Guzan said he had one comment in there on Ruiz when he goes, look, him and then Lennox started laughing. He goes, look, the guy works out tremendously, Unfortunately, he eats more than he works out. Because you know, in boxing, that's not supposed to happen. Lee, it's like when James
Tyson
when he gained weight going into that UFC fight. If you're really
nailed
for the UFC for wrestling,
you've got one guy who's too fat and one guy who's too old.
You're not supposed to gain weight. You're just not. Andy Ruiz is not supposed to gain weight if he's actually training to be a 12-round fighter. Look at the excessive fat that he has on him already. How is he gaining weight when he has that much excessive weight already on him? So it's bullshit.
Like I should get out the Wonka straightener. The goo on him is straight up crazy.
He's undisciplined. He's literally going off of his God-gifted talents. And when that wears out, or when he gets put in with a real top 10 heavyweight, someone who's fighting for titles, not guys that have already been there and gotten their asses kicked, knocked the fuck out type of opponents. When you're fighting a guy that's actually going for a title shot, he is going to get fucking destroyed. Trust me. If he fights freaking even Deontay Wilder, you ever seen Tommy Hearns versus Roberto Duran? That's what it's going to look like. The kid don't move his fucking head, and that right hand is going to put him into fucking dreamland, man. That right hand, if you watch these highlights, Luis Ortiz is landing a straight punch flush on his fucking chin. There's no way he gets to walk through Deontay Wilder's punch like that. He is out. He is overrated.
Wait, but are we talking about a right hand or are we talking about a left hand? Because we were talking about a southpaw with.
I'm talking about.
I think the right hand. I'm with Andrew on this. I don't think he can handle the right.
He doesn't move. You don't react. If you can't bend over or move your head off the line, you know that off the line that Timothy Bradley and
same thing we talked about a week ago, right? What makes Usyk special?
Your head off the line, you are going to get knocked the fuck out. Yesterday,
how can Andy Ruiz fight a guy like Usyk whose head is never in the same spot? Right? Never. Andy Ruiz stood there and took King Kong shot? Question from a slow old guy? Question mark.
And some of them, I thought he did rattle or Ruiz. Ruiz did a job of fighting through it.
He knocked the sweat off of him and his Three Stooges sweat haircut. Like God damn that haircut, dude! You made yourself look fatter with that haircut.
You know what, you guys? Fernando Vargas used to give us the best knockouts. Andy Ruiz is giving us the ugliest fight pictures of all time. His out-shaped ass.
Andy Ruiz. Wait, let me tell you. Andy Ruiz makes me want to fight again. Like he's proving that fat guys rule.
Did you guys see that photo I sent you last night?
Which one?
Maybe I didn't, but I think I did. Go to your text messages. I sent
unlike Miguel. Who
about him getting cracked with that.
Wait, by the way, FYI, Miguel sent me a female fighter who walked out to the ring and showed boobs to the crowd after her win. Yeah, by the way, congratulations. Congratulations.
I did see that. He was getting clipped. He was getting clipped with the right hand.
Well, what I want to know is, did she go to the other side and share with that side?
If she did, the cameras didn't catch it.
Oh my God, so great, so great.
Anyway, I did see the picture.
I don't get how did Andy Ruiz, right? So I've known Billy. I've known guys in the top 10. I've known real top 10 fighters who have actually hit me with real punches. I don't get what's happening here with Andy Ruiz. He's somehow, is this just PBC smoke and mirrors, Miguel?
Yes.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be. I mean, it's setting him up as an opponent to get another guy, smoke and mirrors, and Wilder back on top.
I'm just blown away by this. And again, I'm really disappointed we didn't turn Lee Honish into a heavyweight contender to be in the mix. Because if he's 43, definitely I'm 43. I'll just shave my head. I'll be great. Like, Luis Ortiz looked every bit of 53 last night.
Ever since Ruiz had won those titles, he has not looked like the same guy. He loses a shutout in the rematch. Then he fights Areola, where I believe he was dropped twice, correct?
Yeah. He was dropped twice
Yeah.
against Ariola.
He's
And
dropped.
it was with the
man.
right hand too. With the right hand.
Yeah, he's
How did
dropped.
Sean get ringside? That's Sean. Holy shit. How did Sean get ringside again, Miguel?
All right, we're almost at 2 hours. We're almost at 2
Yeah,
hours.
all right, let's bring it home, which brings us to the only fight that matters last night. And it was a great fight. I don't know why, and they were talking about it as fight of the year, and I would agree. Holy crap. It was so much fun. I enjoyed every minute of Estrada Cortez. That's why it gets to go last, Andrew. I love this fight. Did you go? Well, no, I realized. How'd your daughter do last night?
Yeah, unfortunately, she
No, mine's next week
Sorry
when
for
they
you
play
guys.
Baylor.
Okay. Yeah, they did great. They destroyed their team. My daughter made the big screen on her first performance.
Good for her.
Yeah, so it was all that's all lovely.
Mackenzie's doing Baylor for the first game, and she goes, "Is it a big deal?" I go, "I don't know. You're ranked 25, and they're in the top 10. Good luck." She goes, "We're gonna march around the stadium." I go, "All right. There's a huge difference between being at San Diego State and being in a top 25 team."
You know what I was thinking? Lee?
Oh my God.
Utah Tech. They played Utah Tech, the guy, Sacramento on Friday. And fucking, do they fly these kids in or are they driving it?
Oh my God. I was actually explaining this to my daughter. I go, if you get a bowl game, I go, you should wrap your brains around going to like the Orange Bowl. She goes,
No, Lee, but do they fly them in?
Yes.
Man, that's a lot of money.
My daughter's school got flown to Florida.
The stadium wasn't that packed, and freaking they were losing 28-3 in the first quarter. They put a lot of money into that team to come over there and lay an egg like that. I was amazed I was like, really? Did they drive these kids or did they fly these kids and then charter them in a private bus to this stadium only to have the quarterback throw 3 interceptions in the first quarter? Fucking insane.
It's going to be a long year for us, Andrew.
Hey,
actually, Andrew, here's the difference between you and me. My daughter plays 5 top 25 teams in the bowl championships. And she knows, like literally yesterday, I spent the whole day trying to explain football to my daughter. I go, how, after all these years, have you not watched? Like, it was.
That's your fault.
Like, I wanted her in front of me to just shake her and go,
ain't she at the football game?
She doesn't care. She does not care.
All right.
I would actually want to talk to your daughter, and I bet you the answer is going to be the same of, yeah, I don't care about football. I'm just throwing a flag, Dad.
Yeah, maybe.
So keep up.
Hey,
next week is Baylor. Oh my God, my daughter's school is playing Baylor. Oh my God. She's
not actually playing them. You know that, right?
Well, I'm going to fly you out, Andrew, and they're going to play Notre Dame here in Vegas. How messed up is that one?
I don't know. I don't know how good BYU. Maybe they're a good team.
No, they're 25. And what are you joking? Notre Dame is number 5.
Fuck Notre Dame. They're all overrated.
All right, let's go to the best fight of the night. It's Estrada versus Cortez.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Get out of here. I got to give you guys a college update.
The ticket's at the gate waiting for you, Andrew.
Yes.
Sacramento has not failed me yet in my expectations of what my daughter has gotten herself into.
Oh, so, she's screwed. She's screwed.
When I showed up, I told you there was a 12-pack of beer at the part where the gate opens to drive away. There was beer. Then the door was broken. There was a security guard there. What's going on? The door's broken, so I have to stay here now. I said, "Oh shit!" So I walk in.
No, wait. All right. So
it gets better. Just
how was the drive? How was the drive?
Fine. The drive. I didn't talk about the drive, or I would have talked about it. Please. Now I'm in the building. I look. The elevator's broken. You guys, this is a brand new building. This building was open last week. Okay, first time kids lived in it. First time. The elevator says out of service. Said, "Hey, your elevator's broken too." I said, "Yeah." Okay. Walk forward. There's throw up on the front door.
You want to know the best part of all this? Miguel is so far behind us that when he actually has kids, we can just laugh at this moment.
Yes, here's the drum roll. I show up to the game. I park on the regular street and I have to walk through a tunnel, you guys. I got to walk through a tunnel from the real street into the college, atmosphere. It looks real pretty on that side. Doesn't look too pretty on the real Sacramento side, but going in that tunnel sure is nice. Guess what's on the floor as I enter the tunnel?
Piss.
Can't wait.
A used condom.
Oh, perfect.
Miguel,
condom? When you have kids, I cannot wait for this moment in Fight Net Radio history.
When?
Because Andrew and I will just literally be laughing at you.
What do you mean when?
Oh, it's a given. It's a given.
Miguel,
It's a given. Both of us, trust me, because I've spent 15, 16 years with Andrew. Trust me when I said, when our babies were babies, we never thought we'd be here going, yeah, they're going to play Baylor. I guess I got to drive to BYU and go watch BYU versus Baylor and watch my daughter march around. And by the way, Andrew, here's a fun fact. You want to know the game they're actually scared about?
So I didn't care about where she goes.
Wait, here's a crazy fact. So here's the crazy fact on McKinsey. They're going to play Utah, who's ranked number 7. And their school advisory has already told them that that's the crazy game. And she was texting me last night about this. I go, so Mormons get batshit crazy over the Utah BYU game, and they told you they'd call the police over Mormons. Like, that math doesn't even add up in my mind, Andrew. Like, she goes, well, what are you going to do? I said, I'm not coming. She goes, really? I said, no, of course. I'll be standing next to your section and making sure you're okay because I'm a nut. I said, but they're afraid of Mormons hurting the band? Like, that doesn't even make sense to me. Ugh. Andrew, what did we do? Couldn't we have had like girls who wanted to?
That. Oh, no,
couldn't they have been boxers or fighters or something we can handle?
I have no idea, bro.
I have hope for Junior. I literally have hope for Junior. I literally have hope for Junior.
Well, that's fucking. You got a decade to go, bro.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm already ready to write the contract.
I'm waiting for my daughter to graduate. That's what I'm waiting for. Forget about Junior. 6 years after that. What the fuck?
Junior's gonna rock it out. And I'm waiting. Can I be there when you explain to your wife? He's not gonna fight amateurs. I want him to go pro.
Oh,
Chris. No. Oh my God. I would love to watch that conversation. Just let me be in the room. I'll sit in the corner quietly. I'll just sit there and just say nothing. Kid's got hand speed, Andrew. Kid's got hand speed.
No.
He's got the skill. He's got the gift. I've watched it. I'd sign him. I think you should sign him earlier. Miguel, let's start signing fighters at about age 10 or 11 or 12. I think that's where we need. Last night, this dude named Cortez, who was just a tune-up, Miguel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Took on Juan Francisco Estrada, who apparently already had a fight signed with Chocolatito in December and wound up in literally a 12-round war. I'll start with you, Miguel. This was fight of the night, and they're actually talking about it being fight of the year. I don't think Juan El Gallo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me get it correct. Gallo. Gallo did not expect what he was getting.
Right. He did not like it. It seemed as though he was just a little behind the mark. You know, he has been out of the ring for quite some time. You know, there has been some sort of layoff because of. I think he was supposed to fight Chocolatito back in March. That fell through because of the COVID. Somebody in his team, I think, either himself or someone in his team.
18 months. It's close to 18 months. Yeah.
So I'm sure at his age, ring rust is good. Affects him. People stay. They will continue to say that there's no such thing as ring rust, but there absolutely is. And I think we saw it. His timing was off. It seemed as though what's his name, Cortez, came basically right off from the starting gun and started landing shots. It's like, oh shit! It seems like Estrada just wasn't ready for it yet, and it took him a little bit to get.
Hold on, I like your assessment. Here's my question: when you have a guy like Cortez or any of these guys who are in the setup role, do they not know they're in setup roles?
Um,
And
well,
therefore, you got to go for broke, bro.
yeah, nobody tells them they're in setup roles, but I mean, I think it's just like a mutual unsaid understanding. So I mean, I'm sure he's aware of it, but again, they should go in there with this
He's a
exact
weight
same
class
mentality.
smaller.
But that's my point though. Like he goes in there with that mentality of like I got nothing to lose. Like, I'm already here. I'm already in the main event. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I got nothing to lose at this point. I can go balls to the wall. And if I end up, basically rolling the dice and I end up winning, cool. But if I lose, I'm supposed to lose anyway. So really, there's nothing at stake there. And he gets a nice little payday. But yes, fight of the night, maybe fight of the year was
What did
fucking
Dad
great.
say?
No, my dad's still in Tijuana. He hasn't
He
been back.
has not seen this?
No, he has. And so
Oh
sometimes
my God, he would have
they'll air
loved
them over
this.
there. Yeah, the particular what is it? Like the cable networks over there aren't great, and the Fire Stick doesn't work in Mexico, unfortunately. So, nonetheless, yeah, he hasn't seen it, but he will very soon. I'm sure he can pull it up on YouTube anytime, and he'll watch it there. But man, I love the fact that these guys are 115 pounders, and there's like all this spotlight on the lighter weight divisions, which I absolutely freaking love. So yes, and it was a close
and the
fucking
ring
call.
was tiny last
It was,
night.
yes, and
Oh
on
my God,
purpose,
when they
too.
did that pull away shot, I kept looking at that ring for every fight going, that's a small ring. That's a really small
and the
ring.
announcers mentioned it a couple of times too. Yes, it was what's his name? Jesse Vargas doing a fantastic job on color commentary.
Can we officially say that Jesse Vargas replacing Sergio Mora, which is what I've waited for my entire adult life. Jesse
I think
rocked it out.
Jesse's like practice, running for office or whatever the hell he's doing, whatever speeches he's done or whatnot. I think that's actually increased his vocabulary. So he sounded a little bit better.
Hold on. What title has Jesse had?
Oh, like boxing title?
Was he the middleweight champion of the world? Like Sergio?
WBO welterweight something.
Yeah, he's nothing.
Of some sort.
You know why this is so disrespectful? Everybody was nice on this entire fight card to Jesse completely all night. And I kept laughing every time they were. What do you think, Jesse? If you don't know this, please go back and watch old DAZN fights. Wow, did they torch Sergio Mora, who was the middleweight champion of the world? Like literally
for a few months. Once again, for a few months, it was not a long time.
He was still. I'm sorry, he was middleweight champion, Andrew. I mean, as much as I want to crap on him, he was right.
For a few months, yes, he won one fight and then lost his very next fight and never regained a title again. So it is what it is, man.
I don't want to break it to you. If I won the middleweight championship for 5 minutes, I would talk about it for the rest of my adult life.
Okay, but Jesse Vargas has not only won titles, he's been in the ring with Manny fucking Pacquiao, bro.
Oh, no doubt. They gave him respect over last night.
Unproven Forrest. Sorry.
I loved last night. Andrew, what'd you think about Saturday?
Unfortunately, I was going to tell you guys, I didn't watch this fight. I was going to hang up, but I didn't just want to hang up. I didn't watch this fight. I was at the game. When I got home, this is the first time DAZN didn't immediately upload the fight. And the next morning, all they had was the highlights. I did not want to ruin it by just watching the highlights. So I stood away, and I haven't got a chance to go back to DAZN and see if they've uploaded the entire.
Please do, because Cortez got off the mat, as you see here in the 7th, and still battled it to 12. What a beast.
Yeah, we'll see Estrada for some fucking reason leaving his left hand so goddamn low.
All the way from round one, that hand was down.
There was a couple of times where it looked like Cortez like dinged him pretty hard. And I was like, oh shit. It almost looked like he kind of froze for a quick second, Estrada, I mean. And I was like, bring that goddamn left hand up. What the hell are you doing? And not only is he keeping it low, but he's staying within punching distance. He's staying in the pocket. It's like, dude, if you're gonna stay in the pocket, throw or fucking block, but don't just like kind of stand there halfway blocking. And Cortez took 100% advantage of that. And, credit to Cortez, because he went in there with like, nothing to lose. And he went in there to put on the fight. He wasn't there to just collect a paycheck.
No, he wasn't. Nobody told Cortez what the story was at all. Miguel, just for the sake of discussion, were there blocks of ice at the top of Ishram.
And not that I saw, but I wouldn't be surprised.
It looked like it, right?
It appeared as though it was that kind of place. It looked like it was that kind of arena.
I've really got to take Andrew to a TJ fight. It was great. It was like classic two guys. So this is what we talk about, right? The foot right on top of the foot, just standing in the pocket and going.
Mm-hmm.
I loved every second of this fight. Like, I enjoyed the entire fight card. Like, there was nobody who wasn't going to throw that night. It was a very weird thing. Andrew, please go watch. We lose
I'm
Andrew.
more interested in who he's fighting next. Look, this is a
he's fighting Chocolatito on December 23rd.
This was a close call. This is what we call a close call.
Yeah, because I mean, if
he actually almost lost this fight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, scoring wise, I could have called it a draw.
Yeah, Estrada is putting in a lot of exciting fights. So I'm really interested in him and Chocolatito. Then moving on to bigger fights, man. This just wasn't, this doesn't get me to go back and really want to rewatch the opponent.
All right, so let's discuss that to end the show, Andrew.
What's that?
Chocolatito versus Isaac Cruz, the third fight.
What?
Not Isaac Cruz. Jaime Estrada.
No. Who's Isaac Cruz going up against next?
Oh. I don't know. He's a lightweight, bro. So he's but he's they're with the PBC guys. So I really don't know, Lee. Sometimes these guys fight out of their stable. Most of the time they don't. He's fought in Gamboa and some fucking dickhead Compos that I don't know who is. So he's really fought in nobodies, just like Andy Ruiz. He's really fought in nobodies, yet their momentum keeps growing. Like all of a sudden, these guys they're proven if you beat them. Isaac Cruz is a nobody. You know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of that journeyman or that good Mexican fighter that you have to beat to get out of the country to fight in the States. Before, that's who Isaac Cruz was. There's no skill behind there. The guy's wild as fuck. He's falling over the ring as he's throwing punches. Like, no, Barrera Morales would have iced this cat. He can't go 12 rounds throwing punches like that. So I think when they literally pick up his opposition, we'll see that he's nothing more but an exciting head-first fighter. I don't see any skill with Isaac Cruz. So I'm not high on him at all either.
Miguel.
Well, on the undercard, I don't remember if it was the pay-per-view card or it was actually the prelims, but on the undercard, there was actually another lightweight fight that was an upset. A former undefeated Jose Valenzuela, who I believe either dropped or actually defeated Teofimo Lopez in the amateurs. This dude was coming out like guns blazing, and he was an undefeated fighter, and he got upset last night by this Dominican fighter, Edwin de los Santos, by TKO. By the way, it was like a gunfight, only 3 rounds. These fuckers threw down, and unfortunately, Valenzuela got knocked the fuck out, and he was supposed to be the favorite. So I'm thinking they're going to pair up, and it was on the PBC card, of course. So they're going to pair up the winner of that fight with de los Santos and Cruz. I'm pretty sure that's going to be the next fight. I'm not sure if they're going to give Cruz another high-profile fight yet, but they're most likely going to give him de los Santos because of last night's or Saturday night's performance. So I'm most likely that's the direction they're going with Cruz.
And Miguel, that's where I'm going with this whole PBC bullshit.
Yeah.
All right. Cruz fought fucking Gervonta Davis, a year ago now? It had to be a year ago since they're fighting. This is going to be his third fight away from Gervonta Davis. What are they waiting for? The guy,
it's the same old bullshit with Cruz.
It's the same old bullshit, man.
Right. So you give him a feeder on the third fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
He takes out, credit to him, and I said it last night at least he handled his scandal, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then you turn around, and then on Saturday night, right, Estrada goes to war legit, right? To get to his fight with Chocolatito. Like, I don't understand lightweights. I don't get it. I don't, Andrew. I don't get lightweights.
Estrada's not a lightweight, though, bro. Estrada's, a bantamweight, Miguel?
Super flyweight, even smaller.
You guys say that, but to me, anything under welterweight is a lightweight.
Yeah. Well, they're about 20-something pounds away, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, let's end it all off. Juan Francisco came to town last night.
He's in for Navarrete. He's in for Inoue. You want to start Fulton. You want Steven.
Yeah.
You want to start talking supreme matchups with Estrada? Those are the guys that were.
Estrada's got to go through Chocolatito, right? So
Yeah.
he got his move on Saturday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So he went to town and did his action, and he had to go to war, and he was definitely not looking like him. And Miguel and I were texting on this. I go, this dude's not beating Chocolatito. Like, you're not looking.
Not like that. Hell fucking no. He
Holy
needs to
crap!
change.
Last
I
night,
mean, I'm glad
he looked
he
like
yeah,
crap.
I'm glad he got the win. Good for him. You know, he got more rounds and the fight went the distance, so he needs rounds, right? Glad that happened, but it was too close of a call. They're already going to throw him, in there with Chocolatito. Okay, fine. Let's go ahead and get this trilogy completed. But compared to how and granted, the fight that you and I went, Lee, with Chocolatito fighting El Rey Ramirez, or I think it was last time, right? That fight, Ramirez was way too small. We understand that, right? And Chocolatito looked like $1,000,000. So comparing those two their most recent fights, it's not looking good for Estrada. I am going to root for him nonetheless because I thought, he got the better of him in that last fight.
Why is DAZN so invested in these guys?
Well, I mean, they're just taking over those quote unquote super flyweight thing that the HBO was doing several years ago before they went off the air. So, I mean, I don't mind it. I mean, if we get these kinds of fights, shit, fucking put them all in. Let's do round robin all in one night for all I give a fuck about. If they're going to put on performances like like Saturday, I'm down with that.
Andrew, did you watch Estrada?
No, that's what I'm saying, Lee. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
watch it.
Yeah. It was tough. I mean, and it's a war, right? And so, again, I'm back to the same question. Chocolatito was a paper. I know people are going to hate this take. Chocolatito was a paper champion, Miguel. He was.
Yeah, he kind of. I mean, I don't know.
Really?
I mean,
would he be pound for pound on your list?
No, he definitely was not. No, absolutely not.
But we did.
HBO was really blowing smoke up as hardcore. I mean, I get it.
Timing. Sometimes in life, it's all about timing. And I believe Chocolatito, Triple G, Lomachenko, they all come after the PBC raped HBO of all their fighters. When Al Heyman started taking all of those guys, the Garcias, the Adrian Broners, the Danny Garcia, Mikey Garcia, the Spences, when they started leaving the PBC-only fights, HBO had to fill that in. And they started filling it in with, I think Chocolatito.
No, it's a smart take, Andrew. It's a super smart take.
Triple G really got put in that. Oh, dude, that's
even Lomachenko, which I mean, as a fight fan, I don't get any of these guys you haven't fought anyone. I mean, I want a great fight. Do I think that Estrada versus Chocolatito is a great fight? Oh my God. I'm totally down. Miguel and I are there.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality?
But pound for pound, no.
Pound for pound?
Right.
Yeah, it's a joke.
Totally.
How'd they put those guys at number one over guys like you put them over Usyk? Like, I realize I go way too far about Usyk. I do. I realize that. But do you realize how hard it is to go from cruiserweight to heavyweight and take out heavyweights as a cruiserweight? These tiny little human beings. Oh my God. Pound for pound. Wait, let's have a real discussion, right? So that's the discussion. Chocolatito at one point, top of his career, Chocolatito, Andrew, doesn't matter his weight. Does he have any shot against a guy like Usyk? Pound for pound.
Well, that's no. I mean, listen, Usyk lost to Sean Porter too in the amateur. So who's really to say?
Right. That's why this is all bullshit.
All I'm saying, Lee, I think the flyweights, the bantamweights have always given us great fights. We just don't pay attention to them. But I think Chocolatito was a great fighter down there. Does it mean he's one of the best in the world? Well, he's on the list. He wasn't top 10, and they were putting him top 10. And I agree with that. But he was still giving us great fights. He's still a skilled champion. He gets all the other titles that comes around with anything but you're not top 3 in the world when HBO was trying to proclaim that. Remember, they're trying to build their roster. They're trying to sell to the fans, that they still have the best fighters in the world. So they kind of got to sell these guys as the best. It wasn't the case.
Miguel?
Yeah, well, I already said my piece, but I thoroughly enjoyed that fight. If
It
I'm
was
not sure
great, right?
when they
It was
announced,
fun as
yeah,
fuck.
exactly, when they announced that there was going to be the third fight, which was like literally before they even exited the ring.
Right.
They didn't mention like where. I guess they don't have a venue yet, but if it's within driving
Let me
distance,
take a
you
wild
best believe
guess.
I'm gonna go.
Abu Dhabi?
Oh, I sure as fuck hope not.
I
Oh
hope
God.
not.
I hope
Yeah.
they try. They do some San Diego type shit or something, closer to the border or something like that. I'd be down for that. If it's within driving distance, I'm going. I would like to go, I should say, because that's the reason I wanted. I mean, shit. I drove 2 days to Texas to watch the trilogy, and unfortunately, it didn't happen because Estrada's corner got COVID or whatnot. But nonetheless, that's the commitment I was willing to show for these fucking super flyweights. So if the third fight is within driving distance, I'm not a big fan of flying, but if it's within driving distance, I'm gonna go. So I'm looking forward to that, and it's only a few months away. You wanted to say December 3rd, was it? So yeah. Totally. And look at this. I mean, we're already getting a
We'll go.
badass fucking
We'll go.
fight
You drive.
before the
I'll
end
go
of the
with you.
year.
We'll
Before
do
the
it.
end of the year. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, sure, we'll go. It'll be great.
Yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed Fight Net Radio. And because I don't want a Sam Navajero hate email, Andrew, how's it feel to be the fourth best team in the AFC West?
Well, we will see. That's going to be determined.
Denver's going to kick your ass.
7 days. Yeah, we don't. It's the NFL league. You don't know.
Really? How are you going to beat that quarterback, Andrew?
It doesn't. Like I said, it's the NFL.
You going to beat the Chargers? You
going
to beat the Chargers?
Right now, the experts don't have the Raiders doing good. That's not a good thing. When Vegas doesn't have you doing good, that's a bad sign going into the season. But anything can happen. So we will see. The Raiders right now. This is like my first day of school, Lee. The teacher walks in. She goes, "All of you guys have A's." Yeah, the Raiders got an A right now.
Enjoy, Sam
All you gotta do
Navajero.
is
That
keep
was
it.
just for you, bro.
And all you got to do is keep that A. Just keep that A.
That's right.
Oh my God. I'm going to say this to all NFL teams. You got to go through the AFC West, and they are the teams to beat. I don't care what you think. The Raiders, who are my newfound home, have the best coach. The Chargers have the best team. Kansas City, I'm sorry, is Mahomes suddenly dropped dead somehow magically with Travis Kelce? And Denver picked up one of the best quarterbacks, Andrew, to a long-term contract? Good Lord. What? Oh my God. Murderer's Row. By the way, if you're playing fantasy football, pick up AFC West teams. They'll all be in the playoffs somehow magically. To Sam Navajero, who keeps me on track, to my friend Andrew Labouche, to my friend Miguel Antonio Barragan, we are about a week away from having a blast here in Vegas and covering the Canelo fight, which apparently, based on my wife's newfound friends, I've got to get autographs, Miguel. I don't even know how that's.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, don't get me started.
Good luck with that.
That was a discussion last night. Can you get Canelo's autograph? I don't know. Is that a thing?
I'll use the last name story. I'm like, hey, we got the same last name, bro.
Yeah,
give me
right.
Autograph.
Oh yeah, you had a judge last night, didn't you?
Oh, that's right, Rudy. I don't know
there you go.
But
everybody, please go to our website. Andrew's already dropped off the call. God, I love him. I was gonna have one of our friends, Will, who we haven't had in a while, who's giving me a hard time. But it was a great fight weekend. We're 2 weeks away from a huge fight weekend. Please sign up. Please click, subscribe, and like. Thank you, everyone.
Smash that like button.
Smash, right?
Mm-hmm.